International Yogotsav. Yogotsav is the countdown program for the International Day of Yoga 2022. We have 11 days left for this upcoming great day, which is like a festival for all of us. The objective of this program is to give a wider promotion and publicity to various dimensions of yoga and its utility, and also to promote the 100 Days Countdown campaign to International Day of Yoga 2022 for health well-being and world peace. Ministry of Ayush started the campaign 100 days, 100 organization and 100 places from 13th March 2022 to 21st June 2022 across the globe. I once again welcome you all for the opening ceremony of the program. For the opening ceremony, as the inaugurator of the program, we have Dr. Ishwar Basavreddy sir, Director, Moraji Desai, National Institute of Yoga, Ministry of Ayush, Government of India. I welcome him with the kind words. As the president of the program, Dr. Ajapal Upadhyay sir, Principal, Degree College of Physical Education, Amravati. I welcome him with the kind words. Our today's chief guest, Dr. Madhuri Chenke ma'am, Secretary, Shri Hanuman Vyam Prasarak Mandal. Guest of honor, Professor S.P. Deshpande sir, Vice Principal, Degree College of Physical Education. Dr. Arun Khodaskar sir, International Yoga Guru and the former principal, DCP Amravati. Organizing Secretary, Dr. S.M. Labde sir, HOD, Department of Yoga Shastra, DCP Amravati. Coordinator, Dr. Nitin Kale sir, DCP Amravati. Coordinator, Assistant Professor Sandeep Mandale sir and Assistant Professor Pratik Patre sir. I welcome all the dignitaries, guests, faculty members and all the participants who join online with the welcoming and kind words. Now, I request Dr. Arun Khodaskar sir, International Yoga Guru and former principal, DCP Amravati, to present the introduction of this program. Dr. Arun sir.
Good morning to everybody. Hari Om. It is a great pleasure for me and honor also to give the introduction of this today's program. That is Yogotsav, which is celebrated by our Degree College of Physical Education Amravati, which is run by the very famous, very old, 108 years old institute, that is Hanuman Vyam Prasarak Mandal. And so, and I have given only 7 minutes, I think so. So it is very difficult to explain all these things about our institution, HUP Mandal, 108 years history of the institute. It is not only history, but a very enthusiastic, very inspired history. Because this institute was started by two objectives. Their one objective was to prepare the youth, because at that time there was a British rule, because it was HUP Mandal founded in 1914, not 14. So it was a British rule. So first very important purpose of the institute to prepare the youth for the freedom movement of the India, and through that the institute, HUP Mandal, it was previously called as Akhada, Hanuman Akhada. So it was prepared a number of youth and they were participated in the freedom movement. Out of two personality I want to keep in front of you. One is the Rajguru. Martyrs Rajguru was the friend of the Sukhdeva as well as Shahid, yeah, Martyr Raj, Bhagat Singh. So he was, Rajguru was 2 years in this institute, taking the training of the traditional activities. Second, again very important personality which was joined with the Subhash Chandra Bose, the Azad in the Sena with Daneshwar Rao Deshpande. He was with Subhash Chandra Bose. So he is a very inspiring uh, history of the institute, and it is very difficult to keep in very short period. But now, whatever time I has given, I must explain about the yogic activities of the HUP Mandal. Yogic activity of HUP Mandal from 1924. From 1924 or in 1924, HUP Mandal has started 1 month summer physical education course or courses. 1924, it was established in the 1914, and after recently, within a 10 year, institute has started, HU Mandal has started the summer courses regarding the physical education, and yogic practice one of the activity of that curriculum or that residential courses. So we can say the yogic practices we have started in 1924, means HUP Mandal has started. Another thing, very important thing I want to keep in front of you, that in 1936, first time in the history of the HUP Mandal, the team was debuted in Berlin Olympic. The 10th, I think, Olympic was there. And 19th expert of the HUP Mandal were invited for this to demonstrate the traditional activity, just like Malkham, just like Lezim, just like Danpatta, and so, and with yogic practices also. On rope Malkham, which is mostly, the activities of the rope Malkham are nothing but some asanas. They are performing on the rope, ground, on the ground also, on the rope, on the Malkham also, on the rope also. So in this way, in 1936, the in Berlin Olympic, the HUP Mandal contingent gave the demonstration in front of the Hitler, Adolf Hitler. And he was so much impressed by seeing these activities for 2 hours. And he gave the medal to the institute. Still, it is reserved in our institute. So, in this way, related to the yogic activities of the HUP Mandal, I want to keep in front of the all the in front of you on the international audience or also guests. Dr. Baswa Reddy is my old friend. His guru, Yogacharya Venkat Reddy ji also. I spent some days with him also. So in this way, Baswa Reddy, I will. It is a very dynamic personality. Recently, he was founded the National Yogasan Sports Federation also, and he was the president of that. So number of activities is being conducted by under the eminent guidance. Baswa Reddy ji, I have already visited our institution 2-3 times. The Urban Bhatt also here is a speaker. He is also visited our institute 2-3 times. And again, I am very interesting to say that the speaker is Mr. Steve. He is from Seychelles. Seychelles is a very small island below the India or below the Maldives or below the Sri Lanka. So I had got the chance 2 times. They have invited the sports ministry of the Seychelles invited me for 2 times in the in 212 and 214. So Steve is Mr. Steve, and another speaker is here, Indica. Now we have changed his name, Niranjala. He is a professor in Colombo University. He's also my student, and both are here in this uh, festival, in this program. So it is great pleasure for me because they all I taught ABCD of the yoga to them. So in this way, number of activities. How again we want to tell you, but due to the short time, it is difficult to keep. For the mandal, there are Subhash Chandra Bose, Mahatma Gandhi. Two times he had visited in 1926, 1933. Subhash Chandra Bose in 1928, 1929. Naneshwar Deshpande was already I told about some he was deputed by the institution to the Japan. So now Motilal Nehru, Pandit Motilal Nehru, Dr. Prafulla Chandra Rai, then Madan Mohan Malviya, Rajendra Prasad. These are the great luminaries or freedom fighter of that time. They had visited the institute. Not only visited, they gave the blessing and guidance also. So that's why this institute has developed much now. It is the spread up in 125 acres. The area of the institute is 125 years in Amravati, and out of the Amravati again in Ayurvedic college we have the 18 acres land also there in Melghat. It is a very popular area in Melghat. Is a tribal area. It is called. It is in Amravati district, and there are four ashram shala tribal school. By forcefully, Maharashtra government this ashram shala to run. So there are in remote area in my Melghat, that is a Hatru, then Harisal, then Gaurkheda Kumbi, near to Paratwada, it is a Tehsil place, and one ashram shala is in our premises. So there are the number of acres activities also. We are conducting youth awareness program for the youth of the tribal youth in 1994 at Hatru and 1926 at Harisal. Youth, 2000 tribal youth, near about 2000 tribal youth we are participated in this. So these are the number of activities. It is very difficult now. This degree college of physical education has a number of courses just like BPEd, MPEd, then some computer courses, BCA, BBA, MCOM. Actually, our degree college of physical, before physical degree college of physical education, there was the one diploma course also run by the institute. In 1952, there was a diploma in physical education and recreation. And after that, there is a degree college was started in 1967. So it will not be wrong if I will say that near about 3 lakh or more than 3 lakh students from our institution, HUP Mandal, have taken the training of the physical education and yoga also. Because yoga is a part of the physical education, one of the main part of physical education, or it is one of the main activity in physical education. And for your information, just I told it is near about 3 lakh, more than 3 lakh students are spread up in India and outside the India also. Not a single part of the India state is remain. There you will not get our student from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. Again, I want to say because J&K government, Jammu Kashmir government had invited to HUP Mandal to conduct the 3-month courses at Jammu, near the Jammu, Udhampur district, Ramnagar. There is a sport complex of government of J&K. So there are 3-month courses we have also conducted there also through batches. We have completed 50 teachers, physical teachers mostly were there. They were in that batches. In the same scheme, this scheme was in the Education Ministry of Government of India, and same scheme was also run by the HUP Mandal in our Chikhaldara Yoga Center. Chikhaldara is a famous hill station in Vidarbha area, and we are conducting yoga camp from 46 years in. It was started in 1967, 67, and still it is continue. So in this way, number of activity I want to say to you, or I want to keep you, but it is a short time. It is very difficult for me to do. So again, I already I got some information that you close, you stop this my introduction. Uh, so I will not take because Baswa Reddy ji is here. We want to hear to him. So I don't want to be in between him and myself. Baswa Reddy ji सुन रहे होंगे तो आप मुझे बड़ी खुशी है आप ये अर्पण भट्ट जी आप दिख रहे हैं मुझे स्क्रीन पर
जी
तो
हरिओम।
हरिओम हरिओम तो आइए फिर से अभी अब तो ऑफलाइन शुरू हो गया सब या ऑनलाइन नहीं चाहिए आते भी अगले साल ऑफलाइन से आ जाओ आप बसवा रेड्डी जी भी आप भी आइए आप भी आइए आप
सर
पुराने
आपका
लोग
सुन रहे हैं कोडस्कर साहब,
वाह वाह
आपका बात
धन्यवाद
तो सुन रहे हैं हम लोग।
ओके थैंक यू
हम
वेरी मच
दीवार के पीछे हैं, आप दीवार के सामने हैं, हम दीवार के पीछे हैं।
नहीं नहीं ऐसा आप डायनामिक पर्सनैलिटी वाले पूरा गवर्नमेंट हैंडल कर रहे हैं आप वहाँ का हेल्थ मिनिस्ट्री ओके आयुष मंत्रालय ओके थैंक यू वेरी मच मिलेंगे फिर से हरिओम सत्यम टू यू
Thank you so much, sir, for the brief introduction of this program, and as well as about the how HVPM has contributed in the field of yoga and yogic sciences. Now, it is my great honor, and I would like to extend my gratitude towards organizing committee for giving me this opportunity to introduce our today's inaugurator, Dr. Ishwar Baswareddy, sir. Sir is the director of prestigious Moraji Desai National Institute of Yoga, New Delhi, under the Ministry of Ayush, Government of India since June 2005. He is the head of the Institution of Yoga Certification Board of Ministry of Ayush, Government of India since 2018. He is also the head of Center WHO CC for Traditional Medicine Yoga since 2013. He has also served as advisory Yoga and Naturopathy, Ministry of Ayush, Government of India during 2019-2020 session. He had the additional charge of Director, Central Council for Research in Yoga and Naturopathy, New Delhi from 2010 to 2012 and 2019 to 2020. He was also Managing Trustee of Vishwanathan Yoga Ashram from 2005 to 2008. There is a lot say he imparted yoga, education, training, and therapy to more than lakh of people of all sections of the society. He published several research papers, articles, and written many books. He was one of the main architects of Common Yoga Protocol and Master of Ceremony, giving yoga instruction to more than 40,000 people, including Honorable Prime Minister of India at Rajpath, New Delhi in 2015, which went of creating two Guinness World Record. He widely traveled abroad and is recipient of many awards. He is distinguished member of many government and non-government organizations like ICCR, ICMR, UGC, NCERT, NCTE, TKGL, SAI, Railway Board, IYA, NYSF, IYSF, Fit India, and held various positions. WHO, M Yoga application, Yoga break applications are the recent contribution of Dr. Ishwar Baswareddy sir for health and wellness sector. He has completed 10 major research and development projects, published more than 18 research papers, 28 booklets, 10 monograms, evaluated 100 of research projects as a member and chairman of different research project evaluation committees. He took many initiatives to introduce yoga therapy in healthcare delivery system and provided disease-specific yoga protocols for several research projects of their scientific validations. Several initiatives has been taken under the stewardship of Dr. Ishwar Baswareddy sir for the promotion and development of yoga in India and abroad. Now, the moment has come, and for this moment, I request our today's inaugurator, Honorable Dr. Ishwar Baswareddy Sir, Director Moraji Desai National Institute of Yoga, Ministry of Ayush, Government of India, to present the inaugural speech and inaugurate this program. Dr. Ishwar Baswareddy Sir.
ओम शांति शांति शांति। प्रणाम टू यू ऑल। आदरणीय डॉक्टर अरुण खोड़ासकर सर, ये हमारा मार्गदर्शक है और योग क्षेत्र में बहुत सालों से 6 दशक से ज़्यादा खोड़ासकर साहब फिजिकल एजुकेशन के साथ साथ योग का भी अपना योगदान दिया है। हम सभी जो स्नेह वलय में उनको एक मेंटर के तरफ से, मार्गदर्शक तरफ से देखते हैं। मैं विशेष तौर पर खोड़ासकर जी को मैं प्रणाम करता हूँ। आज के अध्यक्ष डॉक्टर अजय पाल उपाध्याय जी और मेरा परम मित्र डॉक्टर अर्पण जी, डॉक्टर सूर्यकांत पाटिल जी, आज के मुख्य अतिथि डॉक्टर माधुरी चौके जी, डॉक्टर एस पी देशपांडे जी, मंच पर उपस्थित महानुभावगण, श्री हनुमान व्यायाम प्रसारक मंडल के जो आडಳಿತ मंडली का पदाधिकारीगण हैं और यहाँ उपस्थित सारे अध्यापकगण, विद्यार्थीगण और इस वेबिनार में वेरियस सोशल मीडिया से जुड़े हुए योग साधकगण, आप सभी को मेरा सादर प्रणाम। सबसे पहले मैं श्री हनुमान व्यायाम प्रसारक मंडल को सीमेंट डिग्री कॉलेज ऑफ फिजिकल एजुकेशन की तरफ से ये आज का जो 100 डेज काउंटडाउन के एक इवेंट होने जा रहे हैं, इसके लिए मैं भारत सरकार की आयुष मंत्रालय की ओर से, मोरारजी देसाई राष्ट्रीय योग संस्थान की ओर से और मेरे ओर से ढेर सारे शुभकामनाएं और अभिनंदन करता हूँ। मैं यहाँ 5 चीज़ों को आपके सामने अवगाहन करना चाहता हूँ। सबसे पहले 2014 में जैसे ही आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने अंतर्राष्ट्रीय योग दिवस के लिए विश्व समुदाय को यूएन जनरल असेंबली के जरिए उन लोगों ने अपील की, सर ने उसको पूरा विश्व में संपूर्ण सहमत समर्थन मिला। 193 कंट्रीज में 177 कंट्रीज उसको एंडोर्स किया, किसी ने उसको विरोध नहीं किया। ये ना सिर्फ हमारा नया भारत का डिप्लोमेसी का एक अंग है, लेकिन इसके साथ साथ हजारों साल से हमारा योग ऋषियों ने ना सिर्फ हमारा देश में नहीं, विश्व में योग का प्रचार और प्रसार में कार्यरत किया। वो सारे सम्मान ये सभी लोगों को मिलता है। उनका मूर्त रूप में आज हम 21 जून को अंतर्राष्ट्रीय योग दिवस के रूप में पूरा विश्व को जोड़ने का, योग के जरिए जोड़ने का प्रयास कर रहे हैं। 2015 के बाद जो योग का प्रचार प्रसार, योग के सामग्रियाँ, योग कोर्स में विद्यार्थियों का अटेंडेंस हो, दाखिलाती हो, इसमें बहुत सारे वृद्धि हुई है। मैं ये कहूँगा एक्सपोनेंशियल ग्रोथ है। पहले एडिशन एंड मल्टीप्लिकेशन में होता था, आज ये ग्रोथ एक्सपोनेंशियल में हो रहा है। पहले में 1-2 करोड़ लोग भाग लिए होंगे, आज हम 25 करोड़ तक उस दिन हम योग अभ्यास करने का लक्ष्य रखा है। सो ये एक्सपोनेंशियल ग्रोथ इसलिए है कि हमने कॉमन योग प्रोटोकॉल जो अभ्यास करते हैं, विश्व का सबसे बड़ा पब्लिक हेल्थ इंस्टीट्यूट, इसलिए हमें गर्व है कि हमारा संस्कृति हमारा पारंपरिक जो स्वास्थ्य रखने का जो विधि है, विश्व मान्यता प्राप्त कर रहे हैं, लोग अपना रहे हैं अपने अपने रूप में। सो ये हमारे लिए बहुत गर्व की बात है। उसके साथ साथ हमारा जिम्मेदारी भी है और हमारा परंपरा को अच्छी ढंग से प्रस्तुत करने का भाग्य भी हमें प्राप्त हुआ है। इसलिए इस बार भारत सरकार ने आज़ादी का अमृत महोत्सव के जरिए अनेक कार्यक्रमों का आयोजन करते हुए योग को और भी लोगों के नजदीक विश्व भर में ले जाने के प्रयास कर रहे हैं। इसी में जो 100 डेज काउंटडाउन में विज्ञान भवन में 13 मार्च को प्रारंभ किया था, आयुष मंत्री जी के माननीय आयुष मंत्री जी के कार्यक्रमों से 6.5 से ज़्यादा केंद्रीय मंत्रियां वहाँ थे। सो उसके जरिए जो हमने यहाँ चालू किया है, उसका अभियान आज बहुत अच्छे ढंग से विश्व में जा रहा है। आप भी उसमें शामिल हो रहे हैं। 75 आइकॉनिक प्लेसेस में हम 21 जून को हर एक का आइकॉनिक प्लेस में एक केंद्रीय मंत्री रहेंगे और आइकॉनिक पर्सनालिटीज रहेंगे, स्पोर्ट्स स्टार्स रहेंगे, पद्मश्री अवार्डीज होंगे, फिल्म स्टार हो गए। तो समाज के विस्तार पर जो जो अचीवमेंट किया है उनको भी हमने यहाँ सम्मिलित करने जा रहे हैं। ना सिर्फ योग गुरु है, लेकिन समाज में अलग अलग क्षेत्रों में अपना योगदान दिया है वो भी योगी है, उनको हम सम्मिलित करने जा रहे हैं। उसका पीछे एक आइकॉनिक प्लेस है, हमारे हिस्टोरिकल प्लेसेस है, उसको भी हमने विश्व पटल पर लाने का प्रयास कर रहे हैं। हमारा कल्चर और हमारा टूरिस्ट डेस्टिनेशंस है, हमने लक्ष्य रखकर आगे बढ़ रहे हैं। दिस इज द मोस्ट सेकेंड एस्पेक्ट। थर्ड एस्पेक्ट है कि योग में उद्योग अवकाश जनरेट हो रहा है, इसलिए हमने स्टार्टअप्स, योगा मैट हो, योगा अटायर्स हो, ड्रेस हो, कोई प्रॉप्स हो, कोई रिसर्च इक्विपमेंट्स हो मेजरमेंट्स के लिए, उसके लिए अनेक स्टार्टअप्स आ रहे हैं। उनको भी हमने एक एग्जीबिशन के जरिए उनको प्रोत्साहन करने जा रहे हैं। ऐसे ही बहुत सारे कार्यक्रमों का इस बार हमने आयोजन किया है। चौथा मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट है कि गार्डियन रिंग। विश्व भर में योग को फैलाने के लिए जो पहले जो सूर्योदय होता है फिजी में, उसके बाद न्यूजीलैंड, ऑस्ट्रेलिया, जापान, हर एक टाइम जोन से लेकर नॉर्दर्न अमेरिका में जो लास्ट सूर्योदय होता है, वहां तक हमने एक गार्डियन रिंग, जैसे एक देश के बाद एक देश का 75 देशों का लाइव स्ट्रीमिंग कर रहे हैं। ये पहली बार ऐसे व्यवस्था कर रहे हैं कि आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव पर केंद्र सरकार से 75 स्थलों पर, राज्य सरकार से 75 स्थलों पर, जिला केंद्र में 75 स्थलों पर, हर एक संस्थाएं ये सारे करते हुए मोरारजी देसाई भी 75 स्थानों पर कर रहे हैं। हर एक संस्था ये 75 स्थानों पर, और पूरा देश में 75, वो तो 200 के करीबन भाग लेंगे, 190 के करीबन, लेकिन हमने 75 कंट्रीज का लाइव स्ट्रीमिंग कर रहे हैं। इसका उद्देश्य है कि योग को और भी जन मन तक लेकर जाना है, उसका उपलब्धियां है उनको पहुंचाना है, लोगों को एक के साथ जोड़ना है, ग्राम सभा से लेकर और हमारा बड़े बड़े शहरों तक। इस बार माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने 2.5 लाख से ज्यादा जो ग्राम प्रधान है उनको स्वयं चिट्ठी लिखे उनके भाषा में। ये पहली बार है, क्योंकि ग्राम सभा से लेकर हमने महान शहरों तक, यूएन असेंबली तक हमने इसको लेकर जा रहे हैं। उसका स्वीकृति है। कोई भी ऐसे सांस्कृतिक परंपरा को अनेक देशों ने विरोध करते हैं क्योंकि वो हमारे ऊपर लागू करने जा रहे हैं, लेकिन हमने योग को एक विज्ञान, योग को एक साधन रूप में हम प्रस्तुत कर रहे हैं, उसका विश्व मान्यता मिल रहे हैं। लास्ट बट नॉट द लीस्ट, इतना सारे करने का मकसद क्या है? हमें इतना सारे खर्च करना, समय दान देना, उसका आवश्यकता क्या है? मैं उस आवश्यकता को 3 रूप में देखता हूँ। योग में जो योग करेंगे वहां आंतरिक दुख निवारण, हमारा प्रवृत्ति है सुख प्रवृत्ति, दुख निवृत्ति। हमेशा मानव सुख चाहते हैं, दुख को कोई नहीं चाहते, लेकिन दुख हमारा छाया जैसे पीछे पीछे पड़ता है। बहुत कम समय हमारा कम पल है कि सुख का पल होता है, दुख का पल ज्यादा होता है जीवन में। इसलिए सांख्य ने उसको तापत्रय और दुखत्रय, आदि भौतिक, आदि दैविक, आध्यात्मिक ताप, इस दुख का कारण योग शास्त्र में बताया। सो वो कारण है कि अविद्या, अविद्या आदि क्लेश। सो नित्य अनित्य वस्तु विवेक के कारण हमें ये सही क्या है गलत क्या है हम समझ नहीं पाते हैं। इसके कारण अलग क्लेश, अविद्या, अस्मिता, राग, द्वेष, अभिनिवेश, ये क्लेश के जरिए हमने फंस जाते हैं। इसलिए हमेशा हमें असली सुख से टेम्पररी सुख, तात्कालिक सुख में हम लोभी हो जाते हैं, लुप्त हो जाते हैं। इसके कारण हमेशा हम दुखमय जीवन को बीतते हैं। इसलिए ये पहला है। इसके लिए योग शास्त्र में पतंजलि ने अनेक साधनों को दिया है, लेकिन उसमें अष्टांग योग का प्रस्तुत करने से पहले पतंजलि ने अष्टांग योग अभ्यास को क्यों करना चाहिए उसने बताया। अशुद्धि क्षय ज्ञान दीप्ति विवेक ख्याति। सो अष्टांग योग का यम नियम आसन प्राणायाम प्रत्याहार धारणा ध्यान समाधि, ये अभ्यास करने से हमारा अशुद्धि क्षय, हमारा जो मल है कि हमारा टॉक्सिन्स है वो हमें दूर करते हैं। ये टॉक्सिन्स कहाँ कहाँ है, मल कहाँ कहाँ है? सबसे पहले कर्म मल, प्रारब्ध, संचित, आगामी। आगामी को छोड़ दो, हम जन्मतः कुछ फल के साथ जन्म लिया है। मैं गुरुजी बीके संगार जी को इस संदर्भ में याद करता हूँ, जब उनसे चर्चा करते थे कि मैंने कहा कि ये प्रारब्ध कर्म, कर्म का जो है उनको हम कैसे निर्मूलन करें। हम तो समाधि और कैवल्य तक पहुंचने में समय लगता है, लेकिन ये कर्म बंधन से भी मुझे मुक्ति मिलना चाहिए, तभी मैं उनका भोगते रहता हूँ। मैं उनका जो प्रारब्ध कर्म है उनका सही हो गलत हो उसका भी इस जन्म में भोग रहा हूँ। इसलिए गुरुजी ने मुझे चर्चा करते करते बताया, बसव रेड्डी ये यम नियम का जो पालन करते हैं उसको हमें प्री रिक्विजिट्स करते हैं। जितना मात्रा में हम यम नियम का अभ्यास करते इतना हमारा प्रारब्ध कर्म और संचित कर्म कम हो जाता है, शुद्धि मिलती है। इसलिए यम नियम को हमने कर्म शुद्धि, हमारा कर्मों का शुद्धिकरण के लिए यम नियम का पालन आवश्यकता है। इस ढंग से हमें देखना है। लेकिन हमने यम नियम को नैतिक और सामाजिक हाइजीनिक कंडीशंस कह के उसी सीमित कर लेते हैं, लेकिन उसका बहुत गहराई है। योग सूत्र में अहिंसा प्रतिष्ठाय तत्सन्निधौ वैरनाशम, आसन प्रतिष्ठाय ततो द्वंद्वान विघातः, प्राणायाम प्रतिष्ठाय धारणासु एव मनसा, हर एक सूत्र साधन बताते हुए उसको क्या मिलने वाला है योग सूत्र में उनको सही ढंग से निरूपित किया है। कहने के मतलब है कि आप कर्म शुद्धि और घट शुद्धि, शरीर शुद्धि होता है हमारा विविध आहार और विविध शोधन क्रिया से। आसन से स्नायु शुद्धि होती है, प्राण का जो ब्लॉकेजेस है वो रिमूव होता है, फ्री फ्लो ऑफ प्राण। प्रत्याहार से इंद्रियों का संयम, धारण से मन का एकाग्रता, ध्यान से हमारा स्वरूप एकाग्र चित्त, चित्त शुद्धि, और समाधि में पहुंच जाते हैं हमारा मेरा मूल स्वरूप का तदादृष्टु स्वरूपे अवस्थानम। सो चित्त वृत्ति निरोध समाधि तक पहुंच गया वह हमारा होता है। उस पर भी चर्चा है, कैवल्य की बातें आते। इतना ही समाप्त करते हैं कि हर एक साधन से हमारा शुद्धि होते रहता है, शारीरिक से, इंद्रियों से, मन का और भाव और विचारों का। ये महत्वपूर्ण अंश है, सरल है, विधि है। उसको पैसा खर्च करना नहीं है, उसको मंथन करना है, कुछ सिद्धांतों को अपनाना है। सिर्फ 4-5 आसन सवेरे आप लोगों ने किया है 45 मिनट का, एक तो योग का एक बाह्य रूप है, लेकिन अंतरंग रूप से जो मैंने आज बताया पतंजलि योग सूत्र में, उसको अनुपालन करने से हमें स्वस्थ, अपने आप आरोग्य प्रधान जीवन, सो आयुक्त जीवन, संतोषदायक जीवन, वो हमें प्राप्ति होती है। इसे जैसे हमने उस स्तर पर जो है ज्ञान दीप्ति, ज्ञान दीप्ति मीन्स हमें गलतियां कम करने लगते हैं। ये बात नहीं कहूंगा कि हम गलतियां नहीं करते, लेकिन उनका गलतियों का महसूस होता है और नित्य अनित्य विवेक पैदा होता है, ज्ञान प्राप्ति होती है। ज्ञान मीन्स सही क्या है गलत क्या है, विवेचनात्मक डिस्क्रिमिनेशन पावर कहते हैं इंग्लिश में, ये होता है। उसके बाद हमें विवेक ख्याति, मैं चैतन्य हूँ, पुरुष हूँ और आनंद का सुख हूँ, ये हमें अनुभूति होती है। इनको पतंजलि को मैं विज्ञानी के रूप में क्यों देखता हूँ कि आप ये करने से ये फल मिलता है, ये रिजल्ट मिलता है, वही विज्ञान कहते हैं। लेकिन इसका मार्ग क्या है, मैं आदरणीय भोले जी को याद करता हूँ, हमेशा एक्सपीरियंशियल की बात करते थे। कभी कभी हम प्रारंभ में उसको बहुत सीरियसली नहीं लेते थे, लेकिन मैं महसूस कर रहा हूँ कि योग एक एक्सपीरियंशियल साइंस है। सो साइंस में हम एक्सपेरिमेंट करते हैं, यहाँ एक्सपीरियंस करना पड़ता है। मेरा और अर्पण जी का और पाटिल जी का, खोडस्कर जी का, सारे जो एक ही रास्ते पर चल रहे हैं, हमारा एक्सपीरियंस एक ही है। अब ये विज्ञान का अनुभूति है, जरूर होगा, लेकिन हर व्यक्ति का विविध एक यूनिक फीचर होता है, दूसरा व्यक्ति से स्वभाव से मिलता नहीं है, इसलिए योचन में करने में कुछ बदलाव आता है। ये एक्सपीरियंसेस भी अलग अलग होते हैं एक विषय पर, इसलिए हमारे अनेक स्कूल्स है, ज्ञान, भक्ति, कर्म, ध्यान। सत्य एक ही है, उसका देखने का आंखें अलग अलग होते हैं, सोचने का दिमाग अलग अलग होते हैं, इसलिए विविध रूप में योग आजकल प्रस्तुत हो रहा है। इसलिए मैं चाहता हूं कि वो हर एक योग को हमें सम्मानजनक ढंग से देखना चाहिए, क्योंकि हर व्यक्ति को हमें आदरणीय भाव से देखना चाहिए, यही योग है। ऐसे क्योंकि हर व्यक्ति के में एक चेतना है, एक चेतना दृष्टि से हमें देखें। ये संदेश कोई फिलॉसफी में नहीं है, इसी के आधार पर हमारा भारतीय संस्कृति पूरा है। क्या भारतीय संस्कृति को है, हमारा वसुधैव, सब लोग मिलकर रहते हैं। आजकल हमने सिंगल फैमिली हो गया। मैं गांव में जाता हूं कि गांव का पूरा परिवार है मेरा, एक एक परिवार में 15, 20, 40 लोग मिलकर रहते हैं और हर एक झगड़ा होती है और मिलाप होती है। हर लोग मिलकर खाना बनाते हैं, खाना खाते हैं, काम करते हैं, सुख दुखों को बांटते हैं। ये लाइफ आजकल मिसिंग है, हम आइसोलेटेड फैमिली हो गए। सो इससे बहुत तनाव और ये होता है। आजकल पेंडेमिक कंडीशन में तनाव कहाँ ज्यादा हुआ है, जहां जहां आपको आइसोलेटेड फैमिली है, बहुत तनाव है। इसलिए जो वसुधैव कुटुंबकम का विश्व एक परिवार है, लेकिन हमारा परिवार, मैं अपना इंस्टीट्यूट में रहता हूँ अमरावती का, जो हनुमान व्यायाम परिषद है, कि पूरा एक फैमिली के रूप में बाबा जी ने इसको खड़ा किया है। आप लोग एक परिवार के रूप में रहते हैं। ऐसे हमने ये सोच रहे थे, जहां भी वर्क प्लेस में एक परिवार का एम्बिग्यूटी होना चाहिए, उसको परिस्थितियों को निर्माण करना चाहिए। इसलिए हमने ये हमारा सही वक्त पर जागना, सही वक्त पर खाना, सही बात करना और मानव कल्याण के लिए काम करना, बुरा आदतों को कम करना और प्रकृति के साथ हमें मिलकर रहना, ये सारी चीजें हमारा भारतीय संस्कृति का अभिन्न अंग है। हमें सबसे पहले उसको पुनर्जीवन करके हमें अपने आप को अनुपालन करना है और विश्व को ये संदेश, हम सिर्फ बोलने वाला नहीं है, हम करने वाला है। अरे इतना बड़ा देश है, लोग आज देख रहे हैं, इतना आबादी है, फिर भी पेंडेमिक के जरिए हमारा बहुत कम डेथ हुआ। इतने सारे भारत ने कैसे मैनेज किया इसको? कारण अलग हो गया, हमने वैक्सीनेशन लाया, सारे हुए, लेकिन हमारा देश के जो पारंपरिक पद्धतियां है, आयुर्वेद है, योग है और भी नेचुरल थेरेपीज है, उसके जरिए घरेलू उपचार बहुत हुआ है और योग को हमारा तनाव कम करने में बहुत मदद मिला। इन्हीं कारणों से, और वैक्सीन का भी प्रभाव है, मना नहीं करता हूँ, इन्हीं कारणों से हमें बहुत सारे अच्छे ढंग से ये करने का सौभाग्य मिला। इन चीजों से योग का जो महत्व आज सबसे ज्यादा विश्व रंग में, विश्व पटल में होना चाहिए, इसी को मध्य रखते हुए हमारा आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी इस साल की जो योगा थीम है, योगा फॉर ह्यूमैनिटी रखा हुआ है। सो आप सभी लोग हम मिलकर मानवीयता के लिए योग का जो प्रचार प्रसार में हम आगे बढ़ेंगे, इस संदर्भ में और एक बार मैं आयोजकों को और विशेष तौर पर सूर्यकांत पाटिल जी को। हमेशा वो पाटिल जी देखने में बहुत सिंपल आदमी लगता है, लेकिन एक कार्य करते हैं और मेहनत से करते हैं, दिल से करते हैं और डिटैचमेंट से करते हैं। इसलिए पाटिल हमेशा जो भी काम देते हैं हम उसको संपूर्ण स्वातंत्र और फ्रीडम देते हैं। वैसे ही हनुमान व्यायाम प्रचारक मंडल में भी उनका स्थान है। कोडस्कर्णी जी ने उनको ऐसे तैयार किया, पाटिल के साथ भी बहुत है। सो यही हमारा परंपरा है, इनको आगे बढ़ाते हुए हमें बहुत अच्छा लगता है। इन्हीं शब्दों के बाद साथ साथ मैं सभी गण्यमान्य अतिथिगण को और हनुमान व्यायाम प्रसारक मंडल के जो अध्यक्ष महोदय और कार्यकारी मंडल को मेरे ओर से, भारत सरकार की ओर से ढेर सारे अभिनंदन और शुभकामनाएं देते हुए मेरे वाणी को विराम देता हूँ। जय हिंद, जय भारत। ओम शांति शांति शांति।
Thank you so much, sir. It was a splendid inauguration, and I once again request you that by your words, you say that this program is now open.
Yes, I declared it open.
Thank you so much, sir. It is a great honor, sir, to have you, sir, with us. Now, moving forwards, I request our today's president of the function, our mentor, Dr. Ajaypal Upadhyay, sir, Principal, Degree College of Physical Education, Amravati, for presenting the presidential speech and also to motivate our participants. Dr. Ajaypal Upadhyay, sir.
Dignitaries, in this program, part of this webinar, online program, on the dais, your guru, Dr. Kodskar Sarji, Labre sir, other staff member, and my dear students, शायद आप सभी परिचित होंगे 21 जून 2022 को हम 8वां अंतर्राष्ट्रीय योग दिवस पूरे संसार में आयोजित करने वाले हैं और उसकी जो बागडोर है आयुष मिनिस्ट्री के हाथों में दी गई है। आयुष मिनिस्ट्री ने इन कोलैबोरेशन विद मोरारी देसाई नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ योग और बहुत सारी अदर एजेंसियों के माध्यम से इसका सारे संसार में प्रचार और प्रसार करने के लिए बहुत सारे आयोजनों को आयोजित किया जा रहा है। दोस्तों, यू मे हैव हर्ड 100-day काउंटडाउन, 50 डे दिस काउंटडाउन। ये जो ये काउंटडाउन है, this is by means of this countdown we are popularizing the concept of yoga in whole world. इस काउंटडाउन के माध्यम से सारे संसार के अंदर बहुत सारी योग क्रियाओं को आयोजित किया जा रहा है। उनके उस योग प्रक्रियाओं से, उसके फायदों से, उसके बहुत सारे रूपों से, उसके बहुत सारे सोपानों से, उसके बहुत सारे इंपॉर्टेंट पार्टों से सारे संसार को परिचित कराया जा रहा है। एंड दिस रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी इज टेकन बाय आयुष मिनिस्ट्री इन कोलैबोरेशन विद अ लॉट ऑफ अदर एजेंसीज। और ये हमारे लिए बड़े सौभाग्य की बात है कि उस काउंटडाउन का हनुमान व्यायाम प्रसारक मंडल को श्री मोरारी देसाई नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट के माध्यम से हिस्सा लेने का हमें मौका मिला है और हम इस आयोजन का हिस्सा हैं। दोस्तों, इससे पहले भी आप परिचित हो गए कि 14 जो सितंबर को हमारे जो प्रधानमंत्री हैं, उन्होंने यूनाइटेड नेशन के अंदर ये अपील की थी, इस कंसेप्ट को परोसा था और उसकी वजह से this yoga day is observed. योगा डे इज ऑब्जर्व और 2015 से ये हमारा 8वां योगा दिवस है। और एक बहुत बड़े गर्व की बात है कि हमारे प्रधानमंत्री ने सारे संसार को एक ऐसी क्रिया से
वॉइस म्यूट हो गया, म्यूट हो गया, अनम्यूट करें। म्यूट हो गया आपका वॉइस।
देखा होगा हर देश की अपनी योजनाएं होती हैं, वो अपने नागरिकों के लिए बहुत सारे कार्यक्रम का आयोजन करते हैं, लेकिन हमारे देश के लिए जो गर्व की बात है कि हमने देश सारे संसार को एक ऐसा आयोजन दिया, एक ऐसी क्रिया दी जो उनके स्वास्थ्य और काम आने वाली है। बहुत सारे क्षेत्रों पर प्रकाश हमारे योग गुरुजी द्वारा डाला गया। मैंने देखा, मैं जब ईश्वर बादशाह रेड्डी जी जब बोल रहे थे, बड़ा चिंतन से उनको सुन रहा था। उन्होंने बहुत पहलुओं को कवर किया। ये वो लोग हैं जो एक योग के क्षेत्र में बड़ा अपना मुकाम रहते हैं। उनके माध्यम से आप सभी लाभान्वित हुए। मुझे भी आपने बोलने का मौका दिया। मैं इस आप के इस मुझे मौका देने के लिए और आपको इस तरीके से मुझे सुनने के लिए मैं आपका बहुत बहुत आभारी हूं। धन्यवाद। जय हिंद, जय महाराष्ट्र।
Thank you so much, sir, for your presidential speech. Moving towards the last step of the opening ceremony, that is vote of thanks, I request our organizing secretary, Dr. S.M. Lable, sir, HOD, Department of Yogshastra, DCP Amravati, to present the vote of thanks. Dr. Lable, sir.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. The concluding part of the program is presenting the vote of thanks. Our most valued invited guests, technical staff, and members, it's my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion. I, on behalf of organizing committee, extend a very hearty vote of thanks to all the guests for gracing this ceremony with, with us today. At very first, I would like to thank our Honorable General Secretary Padma Shri Prabhakar Raoji Vaidya for his kind blessings, mentoring, and support for making this organization successful. I present a profound gratitude to Honorable Dr. Ishwar Basava Reddy Sir, Director Morarji Desai National Institute of Yoga, Ministry of Ayush, Government of India for being an inaugurator of this program. I must mention our deep sense of appreciation towards Dr. Ajay Pal Upadhyay, Principal, Degree College of Physical Education, Amravati, for delivering his presidential speech. A big thank you to Professor uh, Dr. S.P. Deshpande sir for being with us. I may like to express my sincere thanks to Dr. Madhuri Chenke, Secretary Sri Hanuman Vyam Prasarak Mandal Amravati, for her time to time guidance and support. Further, we are grateful to our international yoga guru, Dr. Arun Khodaskar, sir, former principal, DCP Amravati, for presenting the introduction of this program. I would to extend my thanks to Dr. Kare for his support, Assistant Professor Sandeep Mandare, Assistant Professor Pratik Patre, to their tremendous efforts for making this occasion successful. I again extend my thanks to Assistant Professor Pushpak Konde for hosting this event, and special thanks to Mr. Pranay, Mr. Vijay Ganzre sir, and all the students of Yoga Shastra and Physical Education for their extraordinary support in organizing this event. I would like to take this opportunity to place on record our hearty thanks to all the staff members and the personalities who have supported us directly and indirectly for their guidance and support they have extended to all of us. Well, I cannot thank everyone enough for their involvement and their willingness to take on the completion of tasks beyond their comfort zones. Last but not least, I want to express my gratitude towards all the participants for your kind presence and attention at the function. Soon, we will have the session of Professor Vaidya Arpan Bhatt Sir, Professor and Head Department of Swastivritti Institute of Teaching and Research in Ayurveda, ITRA, Institute of National Importance, INI, Ministry of Ayush, Government of India, Jamnagar, Gujarat, on the subject of Yogabhyasa, Panchatattva, Sadhana, Evam Swasthya. Stay tuned on YouTube. Thank you very much and have a great day ahead.
Thank you so much, sir. With these words, I declare that the opening ceremony of the session is concluded. And now, with us, we'll have the first session of Yogotsav in the countdown program of International Day of Yoga 2022. It is my great honor to introduce our first resource person, Professor Vaidya Arpan A. Bhatt sir, who is Professor and Head, Department of Swastivritti Institute of Teaching and Research in Ayurveda, Institute of National Importance, Ministry of Ayush, Government of India, Jamnagar, Gujarat. He will speak on the subject of Yoga Abhyas, Panchatattva Sadhana Evam Swasthya. He is the member of Governing Council and Academic Committee of Moraji Desai Institute of Yoga, Ministry of Ayush, New Delhi, Certification Board, and was a member of Assessment Committee of YCB and Academic Committee of Yoga and Naturopathy under NBPYN, Ministry of Ayush, Government of India. He is Executive Committee member, Gujarat Yogasana Sports Association. He was a member and convener of Board of Studies at GAU Jamnagar and various other universities of India in the subject of Swasthavritta and Yoga. He has been jury member at the National Yoga Olympiad for school children under Ministry of Human Resource Development, Government of India, and National and International Jury for My Life, My Yoga video blogging contest. He is the adjunct, adjudicator of PhD thesis to various universities. Being a subject expert for Swasthavritta Yoga, Nisargopchar, music and music therapy, he is in the advisory committee of many leading institutions like CYTER, Sri Balaji Vidyapith, Pondicherry, Samutraksh Academy for Yoga, Music and Holistic Living, Ahmedabad, Lilavati Nature Cure and Yoga Research Center, Jamnagar, and there are names to few. He has 17 publications under his authorship, co-authorship, which includes e-learning modules, booklets, and monograms. Some are in the process. He has more than 35 authored, co-authored papers and have guided approx 60 applied and clinical research dissertations in yoga and naturopathy. He has participated in more than 100 seminars, conferences, symposia, etc. on international, national, and regional platforms. He has delivered more than 400 lectures and keynote guest invited and speakers. He is a referee and reviewer of AIU International, a peer-reviewed listed magazine published by IPGT and RAGAU Jamnagar, and has been review editor for Yoga Mimamsa Kaivalyadham Lonavala. He was the chief editor of Yoga Vrutta magazine of ICYER GAU. talking about his international visits, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, on invitation from the Ministry of Health Brazil for delivering guest lecture at the International Conference 2018, Lisbon, Portugal. On the second one is Lisbon, Portugal, on invitation from the Portuguese Yoga Federation of Promotion of Music and Yoga at World Yoga Day 2013, and some places of United Kingdom for the promotion of Indian music and arts through Indo-British Cultural Exchange in 1988. He is a life member of India Yoga Association, Academy of Ayurveda Development and Research, AADAR, Indian Musicological Society, Halar Vaidya Sabha, etc. organizations working towards the preservation and promotion of Indian sciences, arts, and culture. There are many things about him to say, but I would like to stop here, and now I would like to welcome Professor Vaidya Arpan A. Bhatt sir to present his session. Professor Vaidya Arpan A. Bhatt sir.
Thank you very much. Is it okay to share my slides?
Yes, sir, you can share, sir.
But okay.
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to. I will need to upload these slides or something.
No, sir. There is a share button in the middle.
Yeah, but it says that I need to upload the slides. Okay.
Okay, sir. There is one button over there. There is written over there share screen in the bottom. After you click the share,
I don't get that button on my screen somehow. It says here you have to.
sir. It is okay. You can also upload it on the screen.
I think it would take more time. Instead, I would look onto the slides on my PC and I go on talking. You can anyway see me and hear me, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you see me?
Yes, sir. We can see you.
Fine. So, without sharing my slides, I would start. It's fine.
Okay, sure, sir.
Yeah, great. So, can we sit straight and start with the prayers, as without the beneficence of the Almighty, there is nothing in this life actually. And there are two mantras or two verses which we'll be reciting. Kindly sit straight in your place, making a Gyan Mudra of your thumb and the first finger, the index finger. Place it on your thighs. Concentrate on your breathing, focusing in between the eyebrows. Deep inhalation and prolonged exhalation. With the deities you love to worship, you feel the reverence about, as well as your spiritual masters before you. We would like to chant two shlokas. One, the first one is said to be for Lord Dhanvantari, the first Vishak or the Vaidya, And the second one is for sage Patanjali ji, who is also regarded to be master of three sciences. So, with deep inhalation and prolonged exhalation, Ragadirogan satatanushaktan asheshakaya prasrutan asheshan औत्सुक्यमोहरतिदान जघान यो पूर्ववैद्याय नमोऽस्तु तस्मै योगेन चित्तस्य पदेन वाचां मलं शरीरस्य च वैद्यकेन योपाकरोत्तं प्रवरं मुनीनां पतञ्जलिं प्राञ्जलिरानतोऽस्मि पतञ्जलिं प्राञ्जलिरानतोऽस्मि पतञ्जलिं प्राञ्जलिरानतोऽस्मि शांति शांति शांति। Most respected Adarniya Prabhakar Rao Vaidya ji, whose consciousness is continuously being distributed in each and every particle of the whole Hanuman Akhada. And wherever its activity goes, the presiding dignitary Upadhyay ji, the principal, the vice principal, Deshmukh sir, Madhuri madam, Adarniya Kodaskar ji, international yoga guru and ex-principal, my dear friend Dr. S.D. Patil ji, Labde ji, Kale ji, Mandarik ji, and other workers and co-workers who are instrumental in organizing this wonderful program. Of course, the inaugurating dignitary and a very good friend, Dr. I.V. Basavareddy ji, who gave a very meditative lecture about the aspects of yoga, interweaving it with the goals for which this IDY is being celebrated, as well as the promotion of yoga is needed in the society. The topic which has been allotted, or so to say, which have been volunteered today to be spoken about, happens to be Yoga Bhyasa Pancha Tattva Sadhana Evam Swasthya. I know that we have already missed 35 odd minutes from the time given. So I would like to be very brief and as fast as I could, so that we can give justice to the lectures to be given by Mr. Steve and Dr. Indika, the other co-speakers with me in this session. So first of all, namaste and pranams to the divine spark in you all present online, offline, everywhere. The topic which I'm going to speak about, see, when we look into Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, Bhumi Rapo Nalo Vayu Kham Mano Buddhirevacha Ahankara iti yamme bhinna prakriti rashtada. That means these are the 8 things from which everything is generated. Bhumi, the earth; Apa, the water; Anala, the Agni or the fire; Vayu, the wind or air; and Kham means Akasha or ether, Manas, the mind, Buddhi, the intellect. So whenever we talk about anything that is existing, will have all these dimensions. But then he further also states that apareyam mitastvanyam prakrutim vidhi me param jiva bhutam mahabaho yayedam dharyate jagat. That these 8 were the lower states. But there is one more state which is beyond those states, which is the Atma, the soul. Jiva Bhutam Mahabahu. That means now these 8 plus 1 more. And this encompasses the whole existence of whatever is there over here. So now, whenever we are talking about this aspect of yoga or practices or doing one thing or the other, or thinking about the philosophy and physiology and the neurology and all those things, somehow I think we need to focus on these dimensions of energies. Of course, the classics have referred them as tattvas or elements. But basically, every tattva has a very specific conditioning of energy. That is what I believe. And then the body, whenever we talk about the penta-elements or the 5 elements. That gives it a physical format which could be visible. And the remaining 3 or the 4, the Akasha we can't see, Mana we can't see, Buddhi we can't see, Atma we can't see. So those are the subtle ones which are responsible for the activity of the grosser ones. And generally when we talk about XYZ muscle or XYZ bone or XYZ in the system or the heart or the kidney or the liver or something of that sort, somehow we need to have a deeper connectivity which needs to be developed, of course through yoga practices, so that these dimensions of energies can be properly adjusted, manipulated, maneuvered in order to receive the needed benefits or the benefits which it is destined for. Basavaredi ji was talking about the karmas and prarabdha and sanchit karmas and all those things. And that is what we understand as destiny, and that is how everybody's life proceeds with regards to those karmas and its followings. And then those things are again utterly scientific, because those also are the dimensions of energies. So let us have a look at the classics of yoga, and somewhere where we require the inputs from the science of Ayurveda also when we talk about the dimensions of Panchatattvas. Patanjali Yoga Sutra in Vibhuti-pada, that is chapter 3, when Patanjali ji says about what probably would be the benefits of doing sanyama at different places or on different points or on different focuses. Sthula swarupa sukshman vayarthavatva sanyamad bhutajaya. How can we master these elements and its activities? He says you need to focus on those tattvas. Now, when we say focusing on the tattvas, Buddhists, when they go for their meditative practices, they physically place those elements or those objects which are dominated by those tattvas as their focal points, and then they try to visualize the contents of those tattvas. For example, if they need to focus on the element of earth, they will place a lump of mud or a lump of clay before their eyes, and they will go on continuously focusing on to it until and unless they can become one with that. Likewise, when we talk about Gheranda Samhita particularly, or when we talk about the Shiva Samhitas, there are dharanas about the chakras, and we know that in our gross body there is one subtle body, and in subtle body there are the chakras which are dominated by the different elements. And when we say they are dominated by different elements, we should also understand that they are the root places or the generating places or the disseminating places of specific type of energies. Like the Mooladhar is related to the element of earth, and the Swadhisthana is related with the element of water, and so on. We'll talk about them a little bit later. Dharanani samasadya kim na siddhyati bhutale anena nardehe na surageshu gamana gamanam manogatir bhavettasya khecharatvam na chanyatha. Gheranda Samhita says that these are the benefits of dharana. And while talking about dharana, Gheranda Muni has spoken about the 5 types of dharanas with regards to different elements. And there he states that around 2 hours of focusing regularly would be needed at every place. And when we read the literature which talks about different chakras, of course, we talk about the Shat chakras or Sapta chakras. Some talk about the Nava chakras. Some talk about the 27 chakras, like the 9 chakras beneath these chakras in the gross body, etc., etc. There are many dimensions, so I'm not going into it. But anyway, all those which are found in the vicinity of this material body, which can be seen, there are the 7 main chakras we have, and the lower 5 chakras, starting from Mooladhara onwards, are said to be related with the each element respectively. And dharana on those chakras, dharana, we know, Deshbandha Chittasya dharana. So when you focus on each and every chakra and different dimensions of chakra, when I was going through different literatures which talk about chakras and all, I was able to encapitalize around 25 different aspects which can be correlated with each chakra. So now when we talk about Deshbandhatva, where we can focus on every chakra, we have so many dimensions because every human has a different liking. And when every human has a different liking, every human would like to relate one's own self with the liking one has. And therefore, we can have different dimensions for every chakra and dharana. So when these dharanas are done, Bhuta Jaya, a person will be able to have mastery over the production, dissipation, as well as functioning of those elements or those energies through the nadis. And we all know that the ancient classics have talked about 72,000 nadis. Some also talk about 350,000 nadis and so on and so forth. So this movement of the energy in the gross body takes place through all those nadis or the paths or the roads. Shiv Samhita says, Chaitanyat sarvam utpannam jagadetat characharam tasmat sarvam parityajya chaitanyam tu samashrayet. And this consciousness, again what Lord Sri Krishna has said, this consciousness has got these dimensions of different elements through which it works, and ultimately it culminates into one consciousness, the Atma Tattva, or the superlative, or the super being. Tattva Prakatya Lakshanam cha, according to Shiva Samhita, how these tattvas are born and what are the characteristics of these tattvas. ब्रह्म तेजोंशतो याति ततः आभासते नभ तस्मात् प्रकाशते वायोर्वायुरग्निस्ततो जलम् प्रकाशते ततः पृथ्वी कल्पनेयं स्थिता सती आकाशाद्वायुराकाश पवनादग्निसंभवः ह वाताग्नेर्जलं व्योम वाताग्निवारिते वारितो मही खं शब्दलक्षणं वायुश्चञ्चला स्पर्शलक्षणः स्याद्रूपलक्षणं तेजः सलीलं रसलक्षणं गन्धलक्षणिका पृथ्वी नान्यथा भवति ध्रुवम्. Shiva Samhita, what I have found, has given a good insight about the penta-elemental construct of this body, as well as the penta-elemental construct of the total things which exist around us. And the same has been given in our darshanas and the Vedic ideologies. So from Brahma, the Brahma Teja, actually Akasha is born. And from Akasha comes Vayu. That means Akasha and Vayu. Then from Akasha and Vayu comes Agni. From Akasha, Vayu and Agni comes Jala, etc. This is how the gradual quantum aspects of elements is produced. Today we all believe in the terms of quantum and the quantum mechanics and quantum biology, quantum physics, I don't know, maybe quantum psychology as well. But everything based on quantum is there in our sciences if we spend some time on thinking in those directions. So that is how these elements and its activity is gradually generated from the conceived zygote, basically. There are some special qualities also which has been stated. विशेष गुणाः प्रस्फुरन्ति यत शास्त्रादि निर्णयः शब्दैक गुणमाकाशं द्विगुणो वायुरुच्यते तथैव त्रिगुणं तेजो भवन्त्यापश्चतुर्गुणाः शब्दस्पर्शश्च रूपं च रसो गन्धस्तथैव च एतत् पञ्चगुणा पृथ्वी कल्पकैः कल्प्यते धुना. That means Akash has Shabda, single quality. But Vayu has two, Shabda and Sparsha. Agni has three, Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa. Apas have four, Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa. And the Prithvi has penta elements, Shabda, Sparsha, five gunas, Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. That is how that would be the most gross element which would be available for us. Indriyas have also been denominated to every tattva, like chakshusha gruhyate rupam, gandho granena gruhyate, raso rasanayam sparshat, tvacha sangruhyante param, shrotrena gruhyate shabdo niyatam bhati nanyatha. Eyes take the rupa. Gandha, that means the odor, the olfaction is taken by the nose, grana. Rasa, or the taste, through rasan, or the tongue, jihva. Sparsha, touch, tactile sensation is taken by the skin. And ultimately shrotra, or the ears, take the stimuli of shabda or sound. That is how this penta-elemental energy accumulation also takes place from the cosmos. Now, this is what I'm talking about, the indriyas, but at the same time, the chakras also receive the energies the science has conceptually approved that the existence of our bodies are on the base of the accumulation of the gravitones and levitones. So gravitones are related with the grosser aspect, the levitones are related with the subtler aspects. Likewise, all these energies are moving all around us every time. And our body receives those energies, and particular energy types would be probably received through the receivers we have in the body, and similar type of energies will be released in the cosmos or in the surroundings with regards to the releasing aspect of the same portion. So now when we are trying to understand the chakras, the understanding becomes a bit deeper with the relationship or the correlationship with particular type of the energies and the functions and the activities, etc. So now we know that there is one concept of Panchikaran also, which has been often referred upon in our ancient classics. And Panchikaran means that when all those subtle elements get into each other, are combined with each other, they give rise to grosser things which we can later on see as different objects. So Akash, Vayu, Tej, Jala and Prithvi, they interpenetrate each other. And the proportion what has been stated is, suppose if we are talking of water, Jala, which we drink, okay, or we use for our day-to-day routine, is believed to be a Jala Mahabhut Pradhana Dravya, and an object which has the dominance of Jala Mahabhut. So how much would be Jala Mahabhut? 50% would be Jala Mahabhut, and the remaining portions will be divided into 4. That is 12.5% each of the remaining Mahabhutas. It may quite possibly also happen, because when you taste the waters of different places, you find that the tastes are different. This also indicates that not exactly maybe 12.5% of different elements, there may be a little bit of dynamism depending upon the dominance of the elements in the given geographical conditions. And because of that, probably the taste of the waters would change. Well, I'm not talking about the RO filter waters and all, okay, because they have got other energies also added to it when we talk about it today. So with this Panchikarana, there is one more dimension which is being added to the aspect of energy which we have in our grosser self. Now, when we look at Shiva Swarodaya, this is what probably which we fail to focus upon, particularly in our day-to-day daily life, and that is the length of the breath. I hope all the experts or the students of yogic science or all those subtler sciences, so as to say, are acquainted with the name of Shiva Swarodaya, because it is Shiva Swarodaya. It's kind of a dialogue between Shiva and Parvati, where Lord Shiva explains the hidden dimensions of the vital breath. And we seldom focus on it. There he focuses a lot on the length of the breath. Of course, Ghiran Samhita has also talked about the length of the breath when we talk. So according to Shiva Swarodaya, the length of the breath of a Prithvi element would be of 12 angulas, the 12 fingers, okay? This is how like we can measure. So from the nostril, but we have to be in a meditative posture where our head will not go on this way, that way. And then when we measure the length of the breath, we can see up to what length the movement of the breath goes. That would be the length of the breath. So Prithvi has 12 angula, Jala has 16 angula, Tejas has 4 angulas, and Vayu is supposed to be having 8 angulas breath. When we look at the qualities or constituents of these elements, Then Madhura Rasa, the sweet taste, has been attributed to Prithvi. And it is also stated that it is related with Asti, Mansa. Asti means bones, Mansam is the flesh, that means these snayu, tendons, ligaments, muscles, etc. Tvacha, that is the skin. Nadi, that means the passages we were talking about, not only the nerves. Roma means the hair follicles we have all over on the body. So now when we are talking about swasthya or the health also, when we think about the element of Prithvi with regards to Shiva Swarodaya and the yogic texts, we also understand that all these physical structures which we have are dominated by this type of energy, and by manipulating or maneuvering or switching over of the energy circuits and bioplays, we can also affect all these elements or the objects in the body. Jala is believed to be of Kashaya Rasa, and Shukra, that is semen. Shonita, that means the blood, and also we can understand the menstrual flow. Majja, that means the bone marrow. Mutra, urine. Lala, that means the secretions from the mouth. These all things are related with Jala Mahabhut. Tejas is Tikta Rasa, or the bitter taste. Hunger, thirst, sleep, luster of the body, as well as lethargicness. These all are related with Tejas. So when Tejas decreases, lethargy increases. When Tejas increases, lethargy decreases, so on and so forth. When we talk of Vayu Mahabhut Amla Rasa, that means the sour taste is given to Vayu Mahabhut. Dhavana, that means running. Chalana, that means moving or activity. Gandha, that means the flow of the order. Samkocha, that means constriction. Prasarana, that means dilatation. These are the activities which have been attributed to Vayu. So whenever Vayu is hyper or hypo, accordingly these activities and these things will also be affected in the body. Akasha element has not been given the length of the breath in particular, because it is kind of all pervasive element. It comes as the first element, and the text of Ayurveda also see that Akasha is regarded equivalent to Prabhu or God, no, Vibhu. So Katurasa, that means the pungent taste has been given to Akasha. Raga Dvesha, that means the liking and the hatred. Lajja, that means shame or the modesty is related to that aspect. Bhaya, fear. Moha means delusion. All these are the qualities of Akasha. So now we can understand that in a positive state and a negative state. In negative state, we will have problems related to all these aspects, and in positive states, we will have health with all those aspects. Okay, we know that our 5 fingers also are related with different elements. So when we start with element of earth, it is our ring finger or the anamika or the third finger. The pinky or the little finger is related with water. The thumb is related with fire. The index is related with air, and the middle finger is related with space. So there are finger gestures also, just like we did when we did the prayers, you know. So Gyan Mudra we did, right? So it was related with the element of fire and the element of air. That is what now you can see. So then when we play with our fingers and thumbs and we join them in a particular manner, we also generate specific currents of energies. That is what I wanted to say. So when we talk about doing dharana on a specific element or a specific place or specific chakra, or even if we want to focus on the breadth of particular element, because pranayama, while doing pranayama, you can do the mudras with relation to these elements, and then you can have or you can reap the benefits more, like, you know, along with pranayama, if you do this mudra, bhuta shuddhi will become more easier. The Bihar school of yoga has come up with one wonderful work which is known as Bhuta Shuddhi itself. The title of the book is that. And there it has clearly described all these aspects about cleansing of the elements in the body. So now, with the help of Ayurveda, if we look into the aspects of tattvas, then from Triguna, tamas is dominated by Prithvi. Specific quality is kharatva, that is roughness. So if Prithvi increases more than needed, then kharatva also will be increase in the body more than required. Functions of the body like gandha, granendriya, gaurava, kathinya, that is hardness of the body parts. These are related with the element of earth. Sharira dosha, we have three doshas, kapha, pitta, vata. So from that, partly kapha is related with this element. In mala, purisha, the feces is related to Prithvi. When we talk about dhatu, mansa, asti, medas are related with this. When we talk about gati or the movement of this element in the body, the classics have stated it moves downwards because of the grossness or heaviness in it. And when we talk about rasa, madhura, see, in some things, Shiva Swarodaya and the Ayurvedic concepts coincide well. So when we talk about in the body, we have Muladhara Chakra. So qualities of Muladhara Chakra functioning in a better sense would be matters relating to the material world, success, the physical body, mastery of the body, grounding, individuality, stability, security, stillness, health, courage, patience will be found in a person whose Muladhara is functioning well. But when the Muladhara is not functioning well, a person would be seen to be more self-centered. There will be insecurity, violence, greed, anger, overly concerned with the physical survival, tension in the spine, constipation, and other problems related to genital and reproductive organs also can be visualized if Muladhara is not functioning well. So when we focus as a part of Yoga Abhyasa with regards to the yogic diet, then certain asanas which will be related with activation or control of the Muladhara Chakra, then pranayama, which will also help in doing that, then bandha and other mudras, you see, like the Ashwini mudras or the Mula bandha, etc. Judiciously, when we practice that, along with this mudra, then we can have those benefits in either promoting and preserving the health status which is related to the element of Prithvi, or we can correct the problems if there are any. Likewise, we can talk about the different elements, but I am afraid that the time has already exceeded. I have exceeded 5 minutes more than what I was supposed to talk about. So maybe you all can go through this descriptions which are found, as I said, in Shiva Swarodaya also. Some are found in Shiva Samhita also, and the Ayurvedic texts of Charaka, Acharya Sushruta, and in some Paravarti texts like Sharangdar and all. Then you can know more about these aspects and its practice. Okay, this is Varuna Mudra, which is related with the element of water and Swadhisthana Chakra. Then this is Surya Mudra. You can see there the ring finger touches the bottom of the thumb, right? It does not just touch the tip of the thumb. So these both things have different dimensions. If time permits, some other time we'll be talking more in details about this. So when we say Vayu Tattva, we talk about the Vayu Mudra. And when we talk about Akasha Tattva, we have Shunya Mudra or Shuni Mudra as it is spoken about. These mudras, when practiced along with the given set of asanas and the pranayamas or the kumbhakas which we are doing in a particular way. Particularly when we are doing dharanas, if we can practice these mudras, it will give us more benefits with regards to the condition of health and disease. And then we have the optimal functioning of the pancha koshas also, because there are subtle sheets which are covering our grosser body, and we all know that annamaya, pranamaya, manomaya, vijnanamaya, anandamaya are the koshas. And when there is a problem related to some particular chakras, the particular kosha which is related to those chakras will not be functioning well. And when we are talking about the yogic aspects of physiology, we deal more with the concepts of these koshas. And according to again Yoga Vashishta and the Upanishads, the problems will be generated if these things are not functioning well. So, to sum up my talk today, I know I am summing up a little bit earlier, but as I stated, the reason behind it, when we do yoga practices with regards to the elemental concept along with the physiological, physical, neurological, and psychological aspects, then probably we would be properly moving on to better channelizing of different energy currents, also regarding to the quantum aspect of the health, if I may, take your permission to say that. And overall health with yoga abhyasa and elemental aspect would become better. Thank you very much, all the organizers, for giving me this wonderful opportunity to share my views related to the penta-elemental aspect and the yoga abhyasa with you all. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you so much for a very patient listening.
Thank you so much, sir. It was a splendid presentations from you, and it was very nicely said. There are a lot sloks into it, and each of the sloks and their meanings were explained by you very nicely, sir. From the next session, we have Steve Tellermont, and he is an international speaker joined with us. For this, I would like to introduce Mr. Steve Tellermont, instructor with the Yoga Association of Seychelles. Steve Tellermont, a founding member of Yoga Association of Seychelles, yoga teacher for more than 10 years, yoga instructor. As a member of association, he have also conducted televised yoga classes to the general public during the COVID pandemic, which still ongoing. He conducted the free Zoom classes to the public during in Seychelles, and it is still ongoing. He have recently resumed regular classes of yoga and teaching under sick COVID-19 protocols. Talking about his education, he has done diploma in business and accounting, certificate in accounting, training in environment audit, ICSA, Noida, Delhi. He is a full-time employer at the financial officer with the private firms. Since 2012, he is a founding member of Yoga Association of Seychelles. He has done training from Sri Hanuman Vyam Prasarak Mandal in 2012, received yoga training of 3-week course by Dr. Arun Khodaskar, the International Yoga Guru and the founding member of the association. In 2019, at Swami Vivekanand Yoga Anushandan Sanstha, Prashanti Kutiram, Bangalore. He has attended the yoga instructor course at VASA. In 2020, he was a panelist of international webinar organized by Department of Yoga, Barkatullah University, Bhopal, and the name of the webinar was The Role of Breathing Techniques Pranayama in Elevating COVID-19. In 2021, he was the panelist of international webinar of virtual international seminar preventing and limiting the spread of COVID-19 through yogic lifestyle. He was again the panelist at Shri Shivaji Education Society at the international seminar COVID-19 Yoga and Health. Member of the organizing committee of International Day of Yoga celebration Seychelles since 2015 and a lead instructor during 2021 celebration. With these words, I would like to call Mr. Steve Salermont to present his session. Hello, sir.
Hey,
Yes, sir.
can you
Yeah.
hear me? Good.
We can hear you, sir.
Okay, good. Is the okay, but unfortunately I cannot load my PPT.
Yes, sir. You can share from your side, sir.
No, but I'm using my phone now.
Okay, okay, sir. Sir, Sir Khodaskar sir is here at the program.
Yeah, no problem. Can't do anything with here. Okay, it's okay. I'm ready when you are.
Sir, without PPT, can you start the session, or you want
Yes,
to send the PPT?
I would like to send a PPT.
Okay, sir. You can send the PPT, and we can then share from our side, and then you can talk about it.
Okay. Can you give me your email? I'll just send it right now.
On the email? Yes, sir.
Yeah. Just give me.
Okay, okay, sir. Sure, sir. Sir, I have sent the email, sir.
One moment. Okay, I just sent you.
Yes, sir. Just a second. Let me check, sir. So we haven't received your PPT yet, sir. I am checking the email. I have also checked the spam
No, you should
and
have sent
everything.
me at that time. No. You haven't received it yet. Because today the internet is bad.
Okay, sir. Sir, we can start by without PPT also, sir. Sir, I have just introduced you at the live session, and I request Steve Salamont please start his session.
Okay. So can I start?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can start, sir. आपका परिचय हो गया है.
Okay, so
Sir, just a
how are
second.
you,
Khodaskar sir wants to talk with you.
Okay.
Mr. Steve.
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm very much happy that you
Me
have
too.
participated.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you will try to listen. हमने आपका परिचय पहले दे चुका हूँ, दे दिया है. आपका बहुत लंबा परिचय दिया है पहले. समझ गए क्या? बड़ी खुशी हो रही है कि आप लोग जब पार्टिसिपेट करते हो ना ऐसे सेमिनार में, बड़ा हमको आनंद आता है कि जो हमने जिनको ABCD की वो लोग अच्छे तरह से इंटरनेशनल पर आ रहे हैं अभी। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपका और बहुत शुभेच्छा, आगे बढ़ते रहो। और कब आना बता दो सेशल में, अभी वो भी डिसाइड करो प्रोग्राम सेशल का भी, नहीं तो दुबई का प्रोग्राम रहेगा अभी एट द एंड ऑफ द दिसंबर और इन द फर्स्ट वीक ऑफ द जनवरी 223. So you be there. It's a second international conference of yoga. Okay. Best of luck.
Yes,
You can
sir.
start your talk. Okay. Thank you very much.
All right, so I begin. Can I start?
Yes, sir, you can start, sir.
So, Hari Om, everybody, and welcome. So, this is a brief lecture on cyclic meditation. And before we start, happy Pre-International Day of Yoga to everyone. And it is an immense pleasure to have this opportunity to be amongst you. Okay, so thank you, HBPM, for inviting me once again. And we will move on. So, for today, we'll be covering cyclic meditation. As you know, it is performed by SV Asa Yoga University in Bangalore, India. So, for today, we'll be covering the brief introduction about cyclic meditation, the origins of cyclic meditation, the cycle of stimulation, relaxation, the cyclic movements, the process of stimulation and relaxation, cyclic meditation in practice, 5 key elements of cyclic meditation, what stress is, the types of stresses, and the application of cyclic meditations on stress and stress management, relaxation, stimulation, and the levels of perception, expansion of awareness, important points to remember while practicing cyclic meditation, and just touching a few researches on and key findings on cyclic meditations and the benefits of cyclic meditation. Okay, so unfortunately I could not load the PPT, so I can do it without. So let's move on. So just to start off, we will start off with a quote from Ashtavakra Gita, which is a dialogue between the teacher Ashtavakara and the student King Janaka. So if you think you are free, you are free. If you think you are bound, you are bound. For the saying is true, you are what you think. So the mind is the most powerful tool a human being can have at his disposal. So it is really hard to imagine how we can live without a thinking mind. Okay? So in general, this is similar to the law of attraction, where if you think positive about yourself, you will attract positive things. Even though through hardship or through any challenges you may come, if you are positive throughout your life, positive things will eventually come. So if you influence positive things in your mind, the universe reacts accordingly. And if you influence negative things within your mind, the universe in itself reacts accordingly. So this is the karmic process. So never forget that failure is part of life and it is a learning process. So once you reach the top of the mountain, you will achieve great things. So taking the quote into consideration, this is one of the primary objectives of cyclic meditation, to change or influence the mental process towards a higher spiritual objective, and at the same time reaping the rewards of such practices such as improved health, improved mental well-being, and ultimately bliss. So cyclic meditation. Cyclic meditation was developed by SV Asadi University in Bangalore, India, under the guidance of Dr. H.R. Najendra. Okay, so he initiated this process. He initiated these practices And during the decades of its existence, there have been various research papers and analysis which have been performed and done on cyclic meditation, on the effects of cyclic meditation on the body, on the mind, and the well-being of human beings. So cyclic meditation is backed up with a lot of researches and result-based research. So you can look it up, you can check it on the SVSR website for further information. Cyclic meditation takes about 35 minutes to complete. And it is taken from certain principles outlined in the Upanishad, which we'll cover later on, okay? So as I break down this 35-minute process, the process is a movement meditation, which is a combination of relaxation and asanas, which is combined into one cyclic process, okay? So there are basically three types of, just give me 1 second. There are basically three types of processes which is done in cyclic meditation. Okay, just give me 2 seconds. I'll just fix my notes. Yeah, two types of, one is relaxation and one is a combination of asanas, okay? So there are three types of relaxation. One is IRT, QRT, DRT, which I will explain later. And they take about 10 minutes to complete. DRT means deep relaxation technique. Well, this is the last relaxation process in the cyclic meditation system, and which is basically relaxing different parts of your body and using certain mantras, the akara, the ukara, and the makara, okay? And relaxing the body into the deeper levels of the self, even at the cellular level. And then using this awareness to open, expand your consciousness to be whole and complete. The next one is QRT. QRT is quick relaxation technique. This is a process of abdominal breathing and awareness, focusing on the movements of the abdomen and using certain commands during the process just to relax the body further, okay? And last but not least is the IRT, instant relaxation technique. This is actually the first step just after the opening prayer. It consists of tensing the body, tensing the toes, tensing the ankles, tensing the legs, tensing the buttocks, the abdomen, the back, the elbows, the arms, and the whole body. Holding it for about 1 minute, and then releasing the body and gaining instant relaxation. And there is a combination of asanas which is used with this cyclic meditation. Okay, and the whole process takes about 20 minutes. So when you combine it, it should take about 30 to 35 minutes to complete. So as previously mentioned, cyclic meditation has its origins from, taken from ideas from the Mandukya Upanishad, okay? Which the Mandukya Upanishad, okay, which I quote: stimulate the sleeping mind, calm down the distractions, recognize stagnation, reaching bliss, do not disturb. Just keeping in mind that we will understand the relationship between this in the preceding slides, where you will learn about stimulation and relaxation. So I will repeat: stimulate the mind, calm down the distraction, recognize stagnation, and reaching bliss, and do not disturb. So the cycle of stimulation and relaxation in cyclic meditation involves stimulating the body, stimulating the mind, and relaxing at the same time, okay? And then this will bring you towards a state of calmness. So the key to this is practicing awareness. So you are aware of your whole body, of the whole process while doing this. So do not be distracted while performing cyclic meditation. Relaxing deeply, relaxing calmly, and slowly, as all the other principles of yoga, which is no jerky movements, taking your time, and moving one step at a time. So during the process of stimulation and relaxation, the constant stimulation at a certain point and relaxing the body to a certain level. Constant stimulation and relaxation at the same time. So once this is achieved, the body recognizes different parts of stresses, different parts in which you want to improve within yourself. Your body, your mind, your breath becomes to stabilize. So once you recognize the regions of stress and you relax it, you stabilize this cycle of stimulation and relaxation. So this is a constant process. That's why it's cyclic meditation. Okay? It's stimulation, relaxation, recognize, stabilize, and then reaching a higher level of relaxation. So the process of cyclic meditation starts off in Savasana, corpse posture. Okay, so you would lie down on your back and you will do the opening prayer, which is a part of the Mandukya Karika. I apologize for my pronunciation if I'm pronouncing it wrongly, so please, my apologies. So the opening prayer, it will be like this: Lai Shambho Daye Chitam Vikshiktam Shamaye Punaha Sakasayam Vijaniya Samapratam Nachalaye Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So in English, this would be that when the mind gets to a state of drowsiness, stimulated and awakened, when it starts speeding up and distractions sets in, calm it down and repeat the process. When the mind is silenced, let it remain that way. Okay? So the prayer in itself is like an affirmation, setting the mind, preparing the mind for the process of relaxation. So we are encoding, or we are doing a process of allowing the mind to prepare the body for the process of cyclic meditation. Okay? So bear in mind that this is done with full awareness. Okay, so moving on. So the cycle after that, you would lie down in Savasana and you will start with the instant relaxation technique, whereby you would tense your whole body. You start with the toes. You curl your toes. You go to the ankles. You tense the ankles. You tense the lower legs, the shin, the calf, the knees, popping out, the thighs, the buttocks, the pelvic region, your back, abdomen goes in, tensing the chest, tensing the arms, the hands, the whole arms, the shoulders, the neck, and the face. You hold this for about 1 minute, and then you release. Once you release, instant relaxation is achieved. So this is the first level. So the second one would be linear awareness. So once you calm down, you would turn to the side, arm to the side of your body, left hand to the side of your left side. So you'll be on your right side, legs across, arms across. You would observe the linear awareness here. Observe any sensation which you might feel. And then slowly standing up, arms to the side of your body. And then you will begin Tandasana. Okay? Sorry, you will begin centering. So centering is a process of leaning your body forward, applying all pressure on your toes, distributing the weight evenly, going back to center, and then leaning backwards slightly, and going back to center, observing the distribution of the weight within your body, and then to the right side, keeping the arm straight, moving to the right side, holding there, observing. Moving to the left side, same, back to center, and then to the left side, observing and holding at the same time, and going back to the central position. Okay, now observing your body, distributing the weight of your body evenly throughout the body. And the next part of this would be raising the arm, or the lateral arch posture. Okay, you would begin by raising your arm, right arm slowly up. So I'm just showing a slide demonstration here. Turning the palm, moving up, 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 up until you reach the top, and then stretching up, and then gently to your left side. So you hold this here, and while you're doing this, you are aware of your body, observing the different changes, the difference in the stretching of your muscles, the flow of blood flowing down your arms while you're raising up, stretching your body, the pull of your body. And then by bending to the side, you are holding the pose. Observe the body, observe the sensations, observe the stimulation. And then when you finish, you come back slowly, raise the arm up, come down, and bring the arm back to the side. And this is done on the left side of the body also. Same thing, raising the arm up, observing awareness and breath. Any tension, anything in the body, be aware of yourself and the whole process. And once this is achieved, you will sit down on the floor in Dandasana, rest for a while, and then lie back in Shavasana, corpse posture. And you will practice QRT, which is quick relaxation technique. So quick relaxation technique is a process of focusing on the abdomen. As you breathe in, your abdomen will come up. As you breathe out, the abdomen will come down. So you are not doing anything in, you're not doing it, you're not forcing the abdomen, but you're letting the natural flow of the abdomen flowing up and down, up and down, observing, being aware of your body. So this process of belly breathing will help you relax, calm. So it's taking you to the next level of relaxation, okay? From the previous one, which was instant relaxation technique, going down into a deeper level of relaxation. And you might use a mantra here, maybe the the makara, just to deepen the level of relaxation, soothing the body down. And once this is done, you would turn to your side, come back up into Sasankasana, okay, or the moon posture. Your left hand is in a fist. You will grab with your right hand at the wrist, at the back, okay, and you will perform the Sasankasana breathing. So you would inhale, and you will come down slowly, bringing the head to the floor. Rest here. And now you will perform one mantra, which is the makara sound here. Observe the resonance, observe the vibrations within your body. Once this is achieved, you will come back up. Back on your thighs in Sasankasana, and then come up onto your knees in Ustrasana, which is the camel posture. So some people cannot do the full Ustrasana. Some will do the supported one with the hands at the hips. So you will inhale and you will exhale and lean backwards. in the camel posture. And then here, while holding the pose, you will do the akara, which is the ah sound, okay? So here, you will observe any sensations, any stimulation within the body. Once this is achieved, you will come back on the thighs, release the legs in the Dandasana, and then lie back down in Savasana, corpse posture. Relaxing, observing, focusing on the breath. And now the body is ready to do deep relaxation technique. So deep relaxation technique is a process of relaxing the different parts of the body. Different parts of the body, starting from the toes, ankles, lower legs, knees, upper legs, upper thighs, and then using a mantra, the akara, just to relax the body, moving up the upper part of your body from the hips up to the neck, using the makara and then ukara at the top. Okay? Then once this is achieved, you will use the omkara just to deepen the relaxation of the body. Okay? Deepening the relaxation up to the cellular level, deeper parts of your body, the unseen parts of the self. Okay? And then remain in silence and expand your awareness and become whole. So that's the whole process. And once you finish, you will do the final prayer and come out of relaxation. Okay. Excuse me. So once we are here, so I'll just repeat the process once more. We will do the IRT, which takes 1 minute. We will come back up, do the centering of the body, forward, backwards, side, and left. And then Adha Kati Chakrasana, lateral arc movements, left, right, and right side and left side. Come down into QRT for 3 minutes, which is focusing on the abdominal movements and using relaxation at the abdomen level. Come back in Vajrasana, sitting on the knees, and doing Shashankasana, which is the moon posture, using the mantra here, which is the Makara, and then coming back up onto your knees, doing Ustrasana, the camel posture, and using the mantra Akara, and then flying back down into Shivasana, and using deep relaxation technique. So this completes the whole process of 35 minutes. Okay. So within cyclic meditations, there are 5 key elements which you need to be aware of. Okay. So one is single thought. Be aware and think of every movement within your body. As you do the process, be attentive to all the motions, any stimulations, the movements of the muscles, even the breath. Be aware of every single thing within the body. Be an observer and pay close attention to your movements. Slowness. Slowness is mandatory for all movements. Take your time, be patient, be a silent observer, and silently moving one step at a time. Do not be in a hurry and no jerky movements, okay? Wakefulness. Eyes are closed, but you are fully awake. You are fully aware. Yes, cyclic meditation is done with the eyes closed. So this heightens your sense of awareness, concentration, and you are not distracted by any other visual elements which might distract you. Effortless. All the postures are smooth and done without any effort, okay? So you should do it very calmly with patience. So you are teaching the body to relax. And this is done without any effort, without anything. And an expansive state of mind, okay? Now, since cyclic meditation has a deep application for stress management, which is part of SMET, which is stress management executive tension, okay, which is part of the program taught at SVSA, which was a program which was developed for people who work in industries, high stress jobs. So this was developed in a way to use cyclic meditation and relaxation technique just to help them to cope. And so I would like just to brush up a little bit about stress and stress levels. So the definition I've taken from is from mentalhealth.org.uk. So stress is our body's response to pressure. Many different situations of life events can cause stress. It is often triggered when we experience something new, unexpected, or that threatens our sense of self, or when we feel a little out of control over a situation, okay? So one way of dealing with stress would be the use of cyclic meditation as a means to manage stress. So personally, I use cyclic meditation, and within our association, most of us are trained in cyclic meditation. So we developed a program. We do it every Friday. So we use the cyclic meditation process to help people to relax, to organize, well, to deal with stress, to deal with slight anxieties and all that. So we started this just after COVID. So once everything was settled down, so I think it's going well. And this is a very good way to deal with stress. And also, just like any other things, to manage stress, you need to do sport activities, finding ways to distract your mind, finding ways to relax. So yoga, pranayama is essential, and they are very, 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 very useful to this, okay? So as we know that stress is not really negative. So there's a positive and a negative side to stress. Positive side to stress, or you stress, they give you excitement, thrills in a project. Some scientists use it in discovering. So it is a motivation factor. So some people use positive stress as a motivation to harness stress to achieve goals, okay? Negative stress or distress, it drains out energy. It creates pressure and imbalance within your body. So if you do not manage your stress properly, it will go out of hand. It will affect your health. It will affect your mood. It will affect your whole well-being. So using various techniques to effectively manage stress is very, very important, okay? So stimulation and relaxation. So stimulation happens when you are excited, okay, and it goes up. And if you overstimulate, and if your stimulation rises above your ability to relax, this is where things go wrong. And this is one of the key elements of cyclic meditation, is recognizing the stimulation to a certain level and then relaxing it to another level, stimulation and relaxation. And the key to the practice of this technique is slowness and awareness, okay? Observing, taking your time, teaching yourself to be patient. And at the same time, while you're relaxing, you go through different levels of relaxation and perceptions. And at SVSR, we use the concept of the koshas, okay, the 5 koshas or the 5 sheets, which is Anna Maya Kosha, Pranayama Kosha, Mano Maya Kosha, Vijnana Maya Kosha, and Ananda Maya Kosha. Okay, so once your body is relaxed, which is the physical level, the Ana Maya Kosha, the body relaxes. Once the body is fully relaxed, you will go up to the next level, which is the Pranayama Kosha, okay, which is prana. So once the body stabilizes, it allows energy to come in to stabilize the body. So this is the good energy which revitalizes the body. We need this. It is present in air, in all of creation, all around us. So this is one of the vital, most important parts. And once prana is achieved, the mind settles down into Mano Maya Kosha, which is the mind. So once the breath is stabilized, the mind rests. Okay? So you relax until you start to think. It influences your intellect. It influences your wisdom into Vijna Na Maya Kosha. Okay? And then you receive Ananda Maya Kosha, which is happiness and bliss. This is the higher levels of perception. Okay? There are different ways of thinking about the koshas, but this is a different side, well, a different view of this. So within cyclic meditation, we will have also the expansion of awareness, okay, which is the 4 types of awareness while you're doing cyclic meditation. One is pointed awareness. You are aware of the particular parts of your body. So this helps you to explore the body, to be attentive to the different sides of your body. Linear awareness, feeling in the sides, the lines of your body. Any stretches, any differences, any sensations you might feel. Surface awareness, feeling the entire surface of your body, deepening the sense of awareness within you. And 3D awareness, feeling all aspects of the body, and deep into the cellular level, the use of sound vibrations, the use of the mantras, which is the akara, the ukara, the makara, and the om. Okay, massaging the whole body into the deeper levels, even into the levels of the cells. Okay, so om is ever present, so it goes deep within you. So, points to note while doing cyclic meditation is to remain in silence during the practice. Do not be disturbed by anything. Do not be hindered by distraction, sound. So that's why we do it eyes closed throughout the practice. So your visual elements of your eyes will not be distracted by any moving objects. Okay? You are fully concentrated, and this will increase your sense of awareness. Okay? So maintaining total awareness throughout the process, maintaining a full awareness of each and every movement in your body. Okay? And doing it at a slow, continuous process. Be patient and take your time. And ending off with palming. And don't forget, the most important part is the prayer. The prayer builds positive spiritual energy within you, both in your mind, and it will flow down into your body. Okay? So as we first said, if you think that you are positive, you will be positive. So this is the essence of this lesson. Okay? Building correct mental thought, mental process, allowing the body to receive this information. Okay? and remaining silent after the practice. So usually, when I do this here in Seychelles, after that, I allow the students to take about 15 minutes extra just to bask in this relaxation, to reach deeper levels of relaxation, allowing them for relaxing their body even deeper. And I will say it again, don't forget, prayer start and prayer at the end is very important. So just one research paper which I took, okay? There has been various researches on cyclic meditation, okay? One was published in October 2009, okay, in Applied Psychophysiology and Biofeedback, okay, volume 35. It's on page 135 and 140, okay? It's called Heart Rate Variability During Sleep Following the Practice of Cyclic Meditation and Supine Rest. So a group of 30 people were tested doing cyclic meditation, okay? And the effects of the body was followed, okay? And it found out that there was great benefit to their mental health, deeper sleep, and their awareness, okay? So you should look it up. And there are others in regards to cognitive ability, one which was performed in Bangalore in regards to people working in IT. I remember that, but I didn't reference this one, but I'll just speak about it, whereby a lot of people working in a high pressured working environment were feeling stressed out and all that. So by practicing cyclic meditation and pranayama, it was found that they were able to cope better, work better, and allow themselves to relax. So cyclic meditation has a lot of use, even in anxiety levels, which are used to great effect. And I know that cyclic meditation was used at SVIASA for people with cancer treatment also, during cancer treatment, allowing them to cope better, okay? It was used as a post-treatment method and helping them to deal with stress, okay? This one I have not referenced, but I'm just mentioning out from the back of my mind, okay? So the benefits of, I will conclude by the benefits of cyclic meditation. One, the most important one is stress management. Very, very, very important. It helps you to deal with stress, okay? And 35 minutes of practicing cyclic meditation is equivalent to about 6 hours of sleep. So it deepens your sleep. So we've tried it in Seychelles with my student, and we have had very, very good results in regards to breathing, coping with stress, sleeping better, and allowing them, teaching them to relax the body. It's really necessary, it's really helpful. Okay. So if you guys are interested in cyclic meditation, you can look it up on the YouTube page for SVIASA. They have the training there, or you can just look it up with SVIASA. So they are really helpful, and they will help you out in any way and any means possible, okay? But cyclic meditation is a proven method, and it's really helpful. There are various beneficial methods in yoga, and yoga has proven to be, has shown the world that it has a lot of ways to help humanity, to help society in many ways. So, and concluding on this, the reason why I did cyclic meditation is that this year our theme is mental health, and cyclic meditation has been one of the cornerstone of our program for IDY. So it was an honor to actually present this to you guys, okay? Since it comes from India and from the aspects of yoga, I'm really happy to have presented this, okay? I don't know if I have time or I'm over time. Somebody please let me know. And I think I will conclude here. So thank you very much, okay?
Thank you so much, sir. It was a nice session, and hearing you once again at this international program. Sir, Dr. Arun, sir, wanted to ask some questions, sir, about the session, sir.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Steve, it is a very good presentation.
Thank you,
And
sir.
you have chosen a new subject for your talk or for your presentation. But
Yes, because we teach this in Seychelles. So even Josette has experience in this, and we've started just after COVID, and it's proven to be very effective.
no doubt, but it is a good. But there are some queries in my mind now,
Yes,
because
sir.
when we say the meditation, the Patanjali says there is a sutram, might be knowing about the quotation. The first is dharana, desh bandha chittasya dharana. Then tatra pratyekatara dhyanam, means we are choosing, we are selecting any one object for the meditation, for dharana, then meditation, and there is no any obstacle should be come there. Only that suppose we have taken the chakra, set chakra or whatever may be sign of the Oma. So we are
Yes.
only thinking on the set sign of the Oma, not this is which is a founder, who is a, how he is created or something is there. Our purpose
Yeah.
is going to samadhi.
Yes,
After the
definitely.
meditation, samadhi means you get the deep concentration of the mind. Now, in your cyclic meditation, I think so, it is just like a Prakshadhan. You know, it is from the Jain philosophy, Prakshadhan.
Yes, sir.
Or you are also telling that you should be aware. Aware means just like a Yog Nidra again. We are, what
Yes.
you are doing there, we want to go in subconscious mind level here, achieve the subconscious mind. But awareness
Exactly.
also there. So meditation means there is a concentration is there. No movement is there generally. But
Yes,
in
sir.
your cyclic meditation, I know there, Dr. Nagendra is a very famous personality in the world, I can say, not in India. So he taught you, you are his students also. So you please clear. Meditation, cycling meditations means they are just like a Prakshadhan, if you knowing the Prakshadhan, in sitting also we can do just like Yog Nidra. Prakshadhan is nothing but Yog Nidra we are generally doing in Shavasana.
Yes, sir.
And Prakshadhan is doing in the Padmasana or in sitting posture. So
Yeah.
you will identify these differences in among them or in between them. So it is, but I am very really happy that you are selected with good subject. Talk. Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank
please
you,
you
sir.
try to clear other. Afterward you can not now you can. But these are
Yeah.
differentiated three things: Yog Nidra, then that is a real meditation stage, and also your cycling stage. You know that is Patanjali given the three sutra on the asana. So second sutra what says? First sutra says steady and comfortable posture, that means asana sukham sirma asana. Second sutra says that prayatna shaitilya ananta samapatti abhyam. Second sutra. And third sutra gives the result. So in this way, ananta samapatti abhyam, again that is means a deep concentration of the mind after taking the asana. So, but here in your cycling meditation, you are going just like a cycling. We are.
Yes, it is a cyclic process. Yeah.
Yes. So this is you have to
But
clear it.
yeah, but I recognize that. I actually recognize what you said. So what we do is, when we go to the next level, at the end, we do the Dhyan meditation. So we add another process with it, but it's not in the standard. Okay.
Okay. So good. No problem. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Huh? Very
I
nice.
recognize that they needed more, but we add it at the end. It's not in the normal practice, but we add it as for deeper benefits to them. Yeah.
Okay. Please
And also the
remind
purpose.
us.
Yeah, the purpose we use this is just to help people deal with stress and manage anxiety. So we're not sending them to the deeper levels or the higher levels of meditation or deeper levels of yoga. It's just simple things just to help people. Self-help program.
Okay, it's a basic.
Yeah, they are basic. Yeah, definitely. Because not everybody's interested in that high level yoga or deeper levels of meditation. They're simple, normal people. So we keep it simplified in a way that it helps everyday man, everyday working man.
Okay, good, very nice. Please convey my namaste to Francis
I
Remy
did not expect a question from
and
you.
my blessing to your daughter. My blessing is your daughter. Now it may be might be 7, 8 years old, maybe. No?
Yes, she's 8 years old.
How much year old?
She's going to
Your
be
daughter?
9 this year. 9 this
9 year
year.
old. Oh,
Yes, sir.
nice.
Next week.
Okay, near about when I came in your country at the near about 8 years back, I think. Okay.
Yes, sir.
See you again. Huh? Very good.
Sir,
Very
just
nice.
one thing. This year we are 10 years as an association, so we would like to thank you for that.
Okay. You guys
Thank you,
invite,
sir.
definitely I will come. Huh? Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
मिलेंगे फिर से. हाँ, मिलेंगे. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
And it was a great session and a great conversation with Dr. Arun Khoskar, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Moving towards our third session, we have Indika N.D. Bulankulame, Dr. Indika N.D. Bulankulame. And it is my great honor to introduce her in this program. She is a sociologist, cultural anthropologist, certified yoga trainer at Sri Lanka. She is talking about her academic qualification and achievements. She had done PhD in sociology in 2009 from University of Colombo, Sri Lanka. She has completed MPhil in social anthropology in 2003 from University of Sussex, Fowler, Brinton, England. She had done BA Journal in 1997 from University of Kelaniya, Sri Lanka, and her specialization was sociology, history, and archaeology. She had received the awards like Visiting Academics, Asian Research Institute, National University of Singapore, February 2019, US Fulbright Visitor Award 2008-2009, Sigur Center for Asian Studies, Elliott School of International Affairs, the George Washington University, Washington, D.C., to undertake a study of Sri Lankan migrant women. UNESCO Fellowship has received by her regular program 2000 to 2001 at the University of Sussex from England. Her other qualifications was like she had done 2,000 plus hour certificate in yoga education, yoga teacher training, Brun Maharashtra Yoga Parisad in collaboration with Shri Hanuman Vyam Prasarak Mandal Amravati in 2016. Since 2009, she have been practicing yoga under the eminent gurus and have her own personalized classes. She had done diploma in journalism in 1995, Equinas College of Higher Education, Colombo. She had done certification course in conservation of artifacts in 1993-94 with dissertation and field work, Postgraduate Institute of Archaeology, University of Kelaniya, Sri Lanka. She was the Director, Public Relation, Public Information Division, the Open University of Sri Lanka from November 2016 to December 2020. And there is a lot, much more to say. She had done many research work in the field of yoga and sociology, as she was the course director of in 2009 in April and lecturer MA in Development Studies at the Department of Social Studies, OUSL. She was a senior executive in research and publication and editor 2003 in journal Nivedini, Women's Education and Research Center, Colombo 6. Founding member and co-academic coordinator at RAUS, UNESCO Research Person and researcher and editor in 1997, South Asia Partnership Journal, Sapsri, Kota Road, Colombo. There is a lot more about her to say, but with these words, I would like to request Dr. Indika Bulankulame to please present her session. Dr. Indika ma'am.
Thank you very much for that very extensive introduction, which I'm very surprised that you have gone to so much length to introduce me, and thank you very much for that. I don't think I do justice to the field of yoga in that context, but I'm humbled and very privileged to be here today. And I would like to begin by thanking HYMP, Amravati, and the Moraji Desai National Institute in New Delhi for organizing this event on the occasion of the celebration of the International Day of Yoga 2022. So in that respect, I will also like to thank Dr. Sumil Labde, Head Department of Yoga at the CPE, and my guru, Master Dr. Arun Kodeskar, the Assistant Professor Pushpaka Konde, also of DCP Amravati, for inviting me to give this talk today. Thank you and namaskar and ayubowan, long life to you, as they say in Sri Lanka. I would appreciate if my presentation is now displayed.
Ma'am, are you sharing this slide from your side?
No, I sent it to you. I think you're sharing it.
Okay, ma'am, we will share from here. Sir. Ma'am, I hope my screen is visible to you.
Yes, I can see it. Thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am.
So my topic today is timeless breath, sitting in meditative asanas. There are 3 sections in this talk today. So I'm talking about the breath and the connection and the meditative asanas. My previous speaker, Steve, talked a lot about meditation and breath, and I think my talk today will complement his presentation. So, so to begin with, so we can go to the next slide. first we kind of try to understand about the breath. We breathe as we are born and until we are dead. So a healthy adult, both male and female, normally inhales about 500 ml of air and approximately exhales the same volume in one breath. So that's a lot of air. Just imagine how much air that you are breathing in one day. Exhaling breath is actually the process of detoxification, the exhaling breath, and cooling off the brain from the kind of hot gases that we accumulate by the process of inhalation. And the exhalation is that process that calms the body down. Of course, it also aids primarily the most important organ, which is the heart. Next slide. So now, have you noticed your breath? Now today, when you came for this lecture, if you came running for it, then your heartbeat would be, going high. It will be palpitating high. If you had some kind of confrontation before you came here, maybe the traffic, then you might be angry. That also can change your heart rate. If you were sad, if you were crying, or even if you were happy, that also affects your breath, your heartbeat and the breath. So the breath depends on the intensity, and the environment that you are in affects the breath immediately. So the results are immediate. The breath contracts, and that affects the heart. That's how it is, and that's how we say slow down. We say for pregnant mothers not to be very emotionally involved, because if you have a crisis, if you cry, the amount of air that you take, the percentage of air that is supplied to the body changes and contracts with your heart. So when we take long breaths and short breaths and deep breaths, this creates a different temperament in our mood. Our hormones affects the body, and this is also immediate. Okay, let's go. So now we need to understand the process of inhalation and exhalation. So during inhalation, each molecule, fiber, and cell of the body is independently felt by the mind, and it is allowed to receive and absorb the prana, the life force, right? So each breath that we take, there's a signal that goes into the brain. The breath is coming, be ready for it. Then in the process of exhalation, the release of breath is gradual, and this gives the air cells sufficient time to reabsorb the residual prana, whatever that has been left over by your breathing, in to the maximum possible extent. Okay. So now let us see what is pranayama. Now, prana means breath, the life force. Ayama is its length, expansion, stretching, or restraint. Kriya, the action, right? So pranayama thus connotes that then the extension of the breath control, and by that the stillness of the mind. So by doing pranayama, you are trying to achieve the stillness of the mind. Pranayama is the science of the breath, says Iyengar. Patanjali, whole discourse is, as much as the great sage Patanjali, as much as looking at the asanas, it is also more looking at the breath and the mind, the exhalation of the mind, and achieving something more with the controlling of the mind. So an involuntary regulation of the breath, which connects with the mind by the gradual awareness of the expansion of the respiratory organs and feeling of the breath reaching out to the remotest areas of the lungs. What does that mean? That means when you regularly practice pranayama, you can actually be so aware of your breath, so aware of your exhalation, that inhalation and the exhalation, that you can bring maximum potential, give maximum potential to it. Okay. Next slide. Yogic Pran. Here, we know that there are 5 varieties of prana. Prana, apana, samana, udana, vyana. Prana moves in the region of the heart and control respiration. This is the winds. Apana moves in lower abdomen and controls the elimination of urine and feces. Samana strokes the gastric fires to aid digestion. Udana dwells in the thoracic cavity and controls the intake of air and food. And Vyana, air in the entire body, which aids in the distribution of food and air in the body. There are other subtypes of this Vayu, which I'm not going into. But what I want to show is that through this inhalation and the exhalation process, we have created these winds, and they have different components in our body. We can go to the next slide. Now, let's see the techniques of breathing. Pranayamic breathing. The brain is quiet, and this allows the nervous system to function more effectively in the pranayamic breathing. So, just to go briefly, there are many types of pranayamas. Anulom Vilom, which is the preparatory pranayama. It's also a Nadi Sodhana, cleansing the passage between the between your nose. And then we have the Surya Vedan. You know, in yogic science, we believe that there are 2 components to the body, the heat elements. So there's the heaty part and the cold part. So Surya Vedan is an excellent pranayama to elevate the hot passages of your breath inside your nose. And this is done with the breathing of the right side and releasing the air passage. Then we have the Ujjayi, also known as the victorious breath. This breathing technique involves a soft hissing sound during inhalation. Brahmari is by closing the eyes, ears, mouth, and gently the sides of your nose and releasing a B sound on the exhalation. So we have many techniques. These are some of the more techniques which should be used when we practice yoga on a daily basis. So let's go to the next one. So some benefits. I'm not going very deeply into pranayama, but just to reflect, pranayama strengthens the mind, brings attention to the breath, develops the intakes of the capacity of air, therefore builds your immunity, releases tensions, improves digestion, removes excess heat from the body, calms the sympathetic nerve, synchronizes the mind and the body, prevents and delays non-communicable diseases, and releases good hormones. Okay. So, since of the great sage Patanjali, we have had many texts which talks about asanas, which is now my second component of my talk. And in Hatha Yoga text has a lot more to say about seated postures. These texts also expands the meaning of asana to include other poses that strengthen and open the body. The Goraksha a 12th century text, boasts 84 postures. The Hatha Yoga Pradipika, written around the middle of the 14th century, offers 16 of such poses in variation. Padmasana is the main one, or Siddhasana. The Kerala Samhita of the late 17th century wears in with 32 of such poses. The Yoga Shastra even mentions 840,000 different poses, but only describes one, Padmasana, as suitable for attaining enlightenment. Let's see what that is. Okay. Now, my central question in my talk today is, have you heard that when we go for meditation, that we should keep the back straight and the neck straight? Right? I'm sure all of us, I'm sure here there are great meditators. Even when you started, this thing about keeping the back straight, the neck straight crops up. But why? Why do we have to keep this neck straight and back straight? For that, we have to look a little bit on anatomy. So now, if you look at the left side, you have this wonderful skeleton here. This is the part here, only the neck part. And this is called the cervical column. And in the cervical column, from C3 to C5, you get the phrenic nerve, which originates and exits the spinal canal at the neck root and descends caudally, parallel to the pericardial sac to provide the motor interventions to the diaphragm. So there's a connection in this C3 to C5 to your diaphragm. The phrenic nerves provides motor intervention. So what does that mean? To the diaphragm and works in conjunction with secondary respiratory muscles to allow respiration. So now let's take a quick look at this, a closer look at it. You can see nerves C3 and C5 here. These are all complicated nerves on your spine. So C1, C2, and C3 provides motor functions to the head and neck, as well as sensations from the top of your scalp to the side of your face, which is also important when you're practicing a pranayama or meditation. Then we have the C4, enables you to shrug your shoulders. So when you're doing this, you know your C4 is activating and automatically causes the diaphragm to contract. When you are breathing, the fourth cervical spinal nerve also provides sensations to your neck, shoulders, and parts of your upper arm. Okay? So now we got to look at the diaphragm a bit to understand this process, right? So diaphragm is a big muscle that helps you inhale and exhale, but it is thin, it is dome-shaped, and it sits below your lungs and your heart. It's attached to your sternum, which is a bone, a big strong bone fixed onto your chest. And it's at the bottom of your rib cage and your spine. Your diaphragm separates your chest from your abdominal cavity. In addition to helping you breathe, your diaphragm increases pressure inside your abdomen. So acidity, when you have acid, this pressure gets built up. The diaphragm plays a critical role in the respiratory system. Let's see how. When you breathe in, your diaphragm contracts, tightens, and flattens, moving down towards your abdomen. This movement creates a vacuum in your chest, allowing your chest to expand, get bigger, and pull more air. When you breathe out, your diaphragm relaxes and curves back up as your lungs push the air out. So, importantly, several nerves, soft tissues, and blood vessels pass through the diaphragm. Okay, now let us go to the nervous system. Now we talked a lot about the C4 and the neck area. Now let's see. So that's the connection to the brain. Let's see what the spine does. So under the nervous system, there are two important nerves. The central nervous system, which is connected to the brain and the spinal cord, and the peripheral nervous system. As the word says, it is in the periphery. It's got nothing to do with the brain and the spinal cord per se, but it gets connected somewhere. I will show you. So now in the brain, there are 6 components in the brain, which I'm not going to talk about, but I want to talk about one area, the medulla oblongata is one area that is important and has a very deep connection to the brain. Then the spine has 4 areas, which 3 areas I'm not going to talk about, but the spinal nerves, afferent and efferent nerves, the messages which comes from the brain, afferent, and the messages which takes from the body to the brain. This connects, I said there is connection to the central nervous system, that gets connected to this peripheral nervous system. Okay, so now we'll quickly look at a little bit deeper in the next slide about the medulla oblongata. So the medulla oblongata, when you look at this diagram, you can see the red arrow. It's at the very bottom. It's connected to the brain stem. So in this section, in the brain, where the brain stem gets connected to the spine, it is considered, there is respiration. It is also known as a center for respiration. It gets directly connected to your breathing. Other functions are heart and blood vessel function, digestion, swallowing, coughing, sneezing, blood pressure. But this area is so important in the neck, where you get the spine and that gets connected. Okay, now I said the spinal nerves. Okay, very quickly we'll look at this. So there are 2 areas, the sensory nerves and the motor nerves. The sensory nerves are the afferent messages. It's voluntary. One small example I will give you. I pick up this glass of water, I look at it and I pick it up. So the message from my eye goes directly to the brain, saying pick up the glass. Also can mean that you have a bodily sensation, say you have it on your finger, this message goes to your spine and that goes into your brain. So sensory nerves. The motor nerves are involuntary. They are somatic, right? And automatic. There are 2 areas in that also. Automatic nerves, which has a sympathetic nerve, and the parasympathetic nerve. So there are 2. So the automatic nerves, you must have heard in somewhere, and I'm sure you have experienced also, the flight or fight. So you experience something very frightening, and then you have to decide, are you going to fight with this or are you going to go away with this? So the sympathetic nerve is the one that gives you all that messages to the brain, and that's connected to your heart and lungs. The thoracolumbar nerve, which you can see on your left side, the diagram, the thoracic, is connected to your lungs and your heart and your breathing. So see how important this sympathetic nerve, which we talked about earlier too, when I talked about the pranayama. The parasympathetic nerve is rest and digest, and it's in the craniosacral nerve, and that gets connected to your brain and to the end of your spine. Okay, so we now know these 2 areas, how the neck and the spine react to the breath. So coming back to Patanjali, So Patanjali, in his interpretation of asana, said, Sitra Sukham Asanam, be steady, stable, and comfortable. Okay. Let's see the next slide. So now I talked about the importance of the neck and the spine. What asanas can we practice? Padmasana, Swastikasana, Sukhasana, Vajrasana, only but 4 important ones. Padmasana being coming up to the top level because it forces you to concentrate and you can be in deep meditation. All the sages, the gurus, including the Lord Buddha, use the Padmasana in their meditation practices. Swastikasana, which you put your leg in, is a much more easier one than Padmasana. And Sukhasana is the easiest. Most of you can do it. And Vajrasana is different, but is also equally good. Now, some of you will not be able to come into this seated meditation positions, which you will require a little bit of practice. So you can use blocks or lean against the wall if it is too difficult to sit down for pranayama or meditation practice. But if you do have knee problems, it is not recommended to go into this seated meditation practices because the knee is not a thing that can bend. It only has a stretching effect. And so you do not want to, complicate your important knee tissues. But this are the 4 best practices that you can use. So quickly to go through the benefits of sitting in these asanas: deep focus and concentration, developing mindfulness, able to breathe with ease, keeping the body stable. Remember, Patanjali said, body should be stable. Helps develop memory, retention, direct impact on the sympathetic nerve, the flight and fight nerve, balances menstruation, blood pressure variations of control, builds immunity. In Vajrasana, good for digestion. Of course, they have their individual benefits too, which I'm not going deeply into, but these are the general benefits. Okay, let's see the next slide. So how do we do pranayama, or can we do other than being seated? You can sit on a chair and do pranayama and meditation. Because one of the things that we find it difficult as we grow and age is to sit cross-legged on the floor, is because we have been used to being seated on chairs. And therefore, our bodies have got trained, our muscles have worked in a way that to sit down, it has become difficult. But it wasn't so in the good olden days where there were no chairs. So you can practice this seated, and you can also lie down and also do not so much pranayama, but meditation. The type of meditation Steve talked about, you can also do in this lying down position. But there are some pros and cons there. So let's go to the next slide. So if you are a beginner, you can sit on the chair and start so that you get your body used to meditation, but you have to sit mindfully. Richard Rosen suggests sitting so that the top rim of your pelvis stays parallel to the chair seat and the pubis and tailbone are equidistant from the chair seat. Elongating your spine should help breathe up the diaphragm. Remember how important the role and the function of the diaphragm? Making breathing easy for you. Walden recommends you sit with your legs through the back of the chair. Turn it round and use your arms on the top of the chair, back for support to help you elongate your spine. Okay. So let's see. Now, when you're doing, when you're lying down and trying to meditate, first of all, after a workout or after you've been tired, if you have done a lot of Surya Namaskaras, and then you go into Shavasana, the muscles are relaxed. You can quickly relax your muscles when you go down and your head is down. You have a very nice feeling and you recover fast from tiredness. Breathing can be eased. If your heart is beating, this is a very good pose to go into. And good for overall relaxation. But deep concentration on the breath cannot be done with ease when you're here at this position. The potential to fall asleep is also far greater than being seated, and you're less alert and attentive. But you can do body scanning, you can go through with your mind, you can travel through your mind and your breath, and you can go to each part of your body in this position. And that will make you relax. Can you please put the other one back? Other slide, previous slide. Yes, thank you. It can make you relax, but it won't give you that deep sense of concentration. Now, on the right side, there's a lady with a pillow underneath. So here, what we do is we tip the spine up so that the flow of the air is greater than being lying flat on the floor. Here, of course, in the park, on the grass. Okay, let's go to the next one. So, why we should sit and in meditation? So we saw how important the neck is, how important the spine is to give and take the maximum out of the neck and spine respirations. Then we won't fall asleep. We'll be more alert. We can concentrate, be more vigilant of the thought process, which is so important in pranayama as well as in meditation. And we can come quickly into this meditation because you need to get used to it. You are uncomfortable at first, and you need to learn how to sit and come into it. So, keeping your neck straight and your back straight is very important in that context. So, what we don't want to happen when we meditate is to fall asleep, because the idea is not to fall asleep. So, if you want to fall asleep, go into Shavasana. You can quickly fall asleep. You can do some meditation, or you can breathe. You can think about your breath and quickly fall asleep. And if you feel sleepy, I don't think it's a good practice to do pranayamas or meditation, because it takes the focus because you're tired. So you have to give what your body needs. If your body needs sleep, then you have to give that. So we don't want to go into this chola stage. And, so we need to be alert and be mindful of our breath. So being seated and straight is the best option, I would say, for meditation or pranayama practice. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. So breath is the bridge which connects life to consciousness, says Thich Nhat Hanh, which unites your body to your thoughts. Whenever your mind becomes scattered, use your breath as the means to take hold of your mind again. So ultimately, mind is a very powerful thing, and the breath is the way you can control your mind. So use your breath as a means to take hold of your mind again. So that is the end of my talk, but can we just go back to the final slide? Yes, thank you. We can take a little 2 minutes to breathe. So we can just sit wherever we are, like if you can sit on the ground, so much the better. But we can use the chair, as I said before, and we just can close our eyes for just a little few minutes. And just nicely inhale, exhale, and you may get some thoughts. You will hear some sounds. You will get some sensations in your body. But the idea is not to get engaged in that, but recognize that they will be there. And just breathe. Be attentive. Be alert. And be mindful. And breathe naturally. Natural breath. Pure breath. Nothing but breath. Thank you very much. I thank all of you once again, Dr. Labde, Professor Konde, and my guru for giving me this opportunity. Thank you. I'm open for any questions.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. And it was a splendid, presentation by you. As we all know that we are told that we have to sit erect and stand erect from our childhood, but today we got to know why we have to sit erect in an with the help of science and anatomy. Thank you so much, ma'am. Now, Dr. Arun Kholaskar, sir, he wants to speak with you, ma'am.
Yes.